Death to America and happy Ramadan to all of our radical listeners.
Okay, I'm done.
A very merry Kwanzaa.
Alabalan! Happy, coming back!
Happy winter solstice.
And a Merry Christmas.
What would you do if you went through a McDonald's drive-thru and they required their employees to just, say something like "Happy Winter Solstice" or
Like recite anything you just said?
yeah, anything but Christmas.
I mean, you could just say Happy Holidays and you cover everything.
No,
So you're excluding it.
No.
So like you're forced to say something.
There's only one real holiday during this period.
Kwanzaa?
No. Well, if Chase was here, I was going to ask him if he legitimately knew anyone that celebrated Kwanzaa.
Oh.
But
Because I learned recently that was only a holiday starting in, 1966.
Yep.
And it didn't even come out of Africa. It was,
Like Malcolm
some
X.
It was some black professor that came up with it.
I mean, Christmas came from like pagan stuff.
No. They incorporated it into the pagan stuff. Because the winter solstice was already celebrated, but they just decided to pick that date because it was easiest.
Yes.
It's already being celebrated. Anyway, we have a new jerk with us.
Oh.
Another
Oh,
minority.
he's a virgin!
Oh!
Yeah. Our
Wow.
our local virgin to replace Chase.
Right.
Now that he lost it to a 6-year-old.
Wow.
I don't know how to feel about
No, our new minority is my own son, Jeffrey, whose name is actually Dylan.
that. Oh.
Our viewers got me so confused by this.
I prefer Sir Jeffrey, if you please.
Yeah, he's been knighted by the Queen, Sir Jeffrey. He has Down syndrome, cripplingly.
Crippling?
And, yeah. And he's an alcoholic, so if he doesn't have a fidget spinner in one hand and a beer in another, he's gonna start shaking very hard.
Pretty much just Parkinson's.
It might be it, yeah.
Lucky for you all, I brought neither tonight.
No.
The shakes are real over here.
Yeah. So, he's shaking like glorious dildo.
Oh boy.
Oh. I don't know if that thing shakes
It doesn't, it just gets swallowed.
Yeah.
True.
Hot dog down a hallway.
Yep. It's not from Mike, if you know what I mean.
Oh boy.
I don't think Mike has ever touched Kathy.
I thought we were
I thought we
talking
just said
Lori.
Lori.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought
Yeah.
The point stands.
Mike only likes lady boys.
Oh my
That's why he wanted to fuck Steven so bad.
the distant burn.
Yes.
In the house and waiting for him.
Yes.
I've been waiting for you, big boy.
Oh my.
We were gonna have a full circle of life tonight, but we lost a lot of comrades out
Yeah.
there to the cold.
We lost. Jared's
Out-
gotta be here.
Out to the puss, not the cold.
I don't think
Yeah.
any of them that are not here could get puss.
True. Our good buddy Jared hasn't been here since episode.
6.
Well, let's say 8. I think it was 8 and 9. And then Chase, we lost again to gang violence. It's just
Again. Like, he finally miraculously came back.
we keep
from gang
wishing him
violence.
back with the Dragon Balls.
It's like he's Kenny from
Yeah,
South Park.
He lasts a day when we bring him back, and we're like, "Fuck! Now we gotta get the Dragon Balls again." This is just inconsiderate. So, yeah.
Just can't even deal with that one, man.
Everything changed when he went Team Instinct.
Oh, shut up.
I'll have you know that Team Instinct is a fine group of people.
Right. Oh, that's another thing we forgot to mention. Why Nick's gone.
Oh, you mean Pogo?
Yeah.
Oh, Pogo, yeah.
He was killed by inner gang violence in the Pogo community.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
Valor and Instinct
Team
and-
Mystic took him out. They sprayed him down with some bump stocks.
Oh my god.
And they spray
Yeah.
painted Team Mystic rules with a Z over
Yeah.
the corpse.
And 2 O's.
Rules.
Yeah.
But enough about that.
So, Jeffrey, for your introduction to the Circle Jerks, I think we need to put him through the parthenon of shit that we've gone through.
We'll throw him through like 1 or 2 things.
Okay. The first thing needs to be how we introduced Ethan, which is, what is your biggest fear?
What is my biggest fear? Well, in my earlier days before I was Sir Jeffrey, the worst thing imaginable that I could ever conceive was
Crippling autism.
not quite, only that's a close second.
Oh.
It was a 4-legged item, usually constructed out of mahogany.
Is this some kind of dildo?
No, it's a
wooden
chair.
horse.
I forgot to mention. So there's this whole backstory to why Dylan, aka Jeffrey, is my retarded son. And it originated at Mississippi, where neither of us went. We just visited to rain terror.
And rain terror we
And
did.
I forget why. I think you were just being retarded, and I fended you off with a wooden chair like a lion at a circus.
that probably sounds accurate, yeah.
Yeah, so the lore is now that's a retard's kryptonite is a wooden chair.
Not a scratch and sniff at the bottom of a pool.
The male horde just arrived.
My God.
Beer, anyone?
I
Put
always
me
need
up,
that.
my nigga.
I got you.
I gotta stave off the
My
shakes.
fellow Arabs.
my Arabs.
I hope your neighbors don't mind that I parked in front of their. I parked right behind you.
Probably
Oh, yeah.
fine.
I
They're gonna
I
come
parked-
beat my ass.
I parked in there. Yeah, they're gonna come with chains and lay waste.
So
to
wait,
you.
is this the Aryan
Brass
circle
knuckles.
Hey, buddy.
And it's not quite Aryan. We got a
We
Mexican. Well, only me and you are Aryan, actually.
This is
So
your brother?
not even close.
Let me take my jaqueta off. Okay. No time. You guys are just having me
There's
right now.
never
right here.
time.
You know, we actually never put Justin through the Parthenon of shit questions that we had either. He's gone through some of them, like the classic Bill Gates.
Is this already on?
Yeah, we're already on. Justin, what's your biggest fear?
My
Realistic.
biggest fear?
It's a heart.
Being outed.
Probably like my mother's death.
Oh, it's deep. But okay, do you
But it
have like
happens
any
that
like
daily.
phobias, like heights, insects?
Insects.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like all of them, or like necessarily like I'm not like freaked out. Like if there's a spider, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna like kill it, but I'm not gonna like run away and be like like I'm gonna freak out because it's there, and then I'm gonna kill it. But
Wow, he sounds really manly right now.
Yeah.
insects.
That's what I do with black
Like,
people.
I don't
At
mind
first, I'm just
snakes,
like,
like-
no,
like
I mean, I kill
snakes.
it, but
I'm not gonna fuck
Zach.
with a snake. It's not gonna fuck with me. So like heights, no, I love shit like that. Like I want to go skydiving. I've been parasailing a bunch of times. That shit's cool.
It is, yes. I can relate.
I did it in Mexico, and I did it also in Gulf Shores.
cool. Neat. So, Dylan, what's your actual fear besides wooden chairs?
Well, now that I've been knighted Sir Jeffrey, I've gotten past chairs.
I'm proud of you.
You conquered your fear of chairs, and that's why Queen Elizabeth invited you over to knight
That bitch
you.
is
That's
Oh,
actually
she's like
exactly what
93.
happened. I managed to
She's
enter the same room as a
still kicking?
chair,
Oh,
my
and she
queen.
just happened to see the CCTV footage.
She was so astounded. She's like, I
Where's
gotta
the
knight this kid.
dirty border jumper?
He's,
Our
he's
Mexican
fucking
friend?
Emily.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah, I don't know why he's
Can
doing
you hear him? Wait, listen real close.
Is he fapping?
Ah, Dios mío.
like-
No.
we don't have microscopic technology.
From space.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
No, but if I had to name an actual fear...
Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, when I got into the room and saw her, I just flipped shit and left.
Yes.
No, I would have to say
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
being an old guy and regretting not doing something in life.
Like a woman.
No.
Wait,
I'm not Justin.
Ooh.
What?
At least you get some sweet starfish, though.
We should get some
Chocolate
Cards Against
starfish?
Humanity later,
Yeah.
if you guys want.
Yeah, we good.
That'd be fun.
Chocolate starfish?
So, okay, what would be your biggest regret of not doing at this point? If you died right now, Jeffrey.
Having only done Kathy 37 times.
That's it?
See, yeah, that would be something to regret, because me and Ethan, we're in six figures.
Yeah, it's getting
Like,
insane.
what?
Six?
Well, we're
Yeah.
almost to 7. It's getting up there.
Well, you
Some
see,
of those were together, but most of them were.
Yeah.
apart.
well,
so
let's
like
not
do those
count
cancel
those.
each
That's
other
like
out,
half.
man? Or
Yeah, that's like an assist. our,
Tap in,
our
bro.
KD ratio.
it's like
for
a
Kathy.
multiplier times 2.
Yeah.
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 What else? There's for our second episode, we all went around and we did our most embarrassing moments.
Could you
in
imagine if
life.
my mom ever heard this?
I'm gonna tag her.
She's gonna see it.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in the next episode.
Their tree is awfully bare.
Bruh.
Oh, hey.
Don't talk shit on their tree.
Whoop this nigga's ass.
Come here.
Throw shit on your tree!
Hey, Subway. How you doing? Good, how are you? Good, man.
You just said you were eating
You'd
Subway?
like a beer or something right there?
Oh, I'm
He's
good.
eating ass.
Fine,
Sit on,
whatever.
What's the difference?
sit on
Don't
Pappy's
drink my beer.
lappy.
Sit on Pap's lap.
Oh.
No.
Pap's lap for a nice old fap.
No. Hell no.
God.
To the no.
Okay.
All right, boys.
Pardon my language.
Steven, we're doing.
I saw the one where it was a snake. It was like this bitch. It was like an anaconda-sized snake, and it's like slows moving towards the fucking like the woods. And this bitch comes out of nowhere and she just like grabs it and just like picks it up by the fucking head and brings it over to the camera. And the dude's like, hell no. no. And I'm like, for
So
sure.
is that Pornhub or
Yeah.
That sounds like a porn.
I think it's just Animal Planet with porn.
is blacked.com?
Woman grabs large snake coming out of her face.
Large anaconda.
Shoves it in the camera.
Anyway, we're doing most embarrassing moments. I don't think we ever did this with you.
So
We
the
did
black
it-
one isn't
We did
coming?
this like no, he died from gang violence.
So we're gonna go beat his ass with pitchforks.
When
Yeah,
we find his
with-
body,
Yeah, and I
yes.
figured we put on our KKK garbs that we already have.
Right,
and we already
right.
We bring on all
Our
occasions.
crosses and our
just to get-
gasoline.
Yeah, we're gonna burn some crosses.
Right. The
Um,
norm.
Yeah, so typical night for us.
Typical
Tuesday night.
Jefferson County.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, most embarrassing moments. Anyone want to
Most
start
embarrassing moments.
I need a minute. There's been a few.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. There's been quite a few.
I can think of one that includes our dear freaking Justin here. So
Oh,
back
yeah?
in high school, it was after a football game. We came back to my house
And
because
banged.
not yet. No, we weren't to that level yet.
Wasn't to that point yet.
No. So I go downstairs to my room and I'm like, all right, I need take a shit. So I'm in the bathroom, right? And my parents come home and Justin's upstairs just dicking around doing whatever. And
Lucas.
my parents are like, oh hey, where's Dylan? And he looks at them and goes, oh, he's downstairs fornicating. I
I remember that.
I hear my
You weren't even
father
there.
yell, what is he doing? He runs downstairs. I'm like, what?
They
the
didn't think
fuck
I was
did he
serious.
tell him? Yes, he was. He ran downstairs and was getting ready to kill me. I came out of the bathroom and my mom was like, what's going on? And my dad comes upstairs. He goes, where is she? And I'm like, what the
Defecating.
hell are you talking about? Just
Not even close.
It's like,
Fornicating.
Justin, what did you tell him? He goes, I told them you were fornicating. I was like, that is not what you needed to say.
What did you do to Hubbard?
Needless to say,
That's
we
the real
quickly.
reason he died.
Right.
That's funnier than shit.
He's now an anal plug. His tail.
That's how he died, and that's how he'll live from now on.
In infamy. Yeah.
So that's your most embarrassing moment.
That I can think of offhand, yes.
Okay.
That doesn't really embarrass
That wasn't
you.
too bad. That was pretty easily resolved.
We
Yes.
did something horrendous. Like, it changed your life.
Yeah. Like that time that you wore
You guys-
blackface to an assembly.
Well, I do that every day.
Okay.
To an assembly?
Yeah.
What?
I'm a public speaker.
During your plays.
In addition to being a knight now, I'm asked to speak at many public events.
It's really a handout to the retard community.
It is. They
Wow.
really kind of look up to me now.
You're just some hero.
Me and my
Their
boy Cody.
knight. Your boy Cody. My OG nigga, Cody.
I don't know how we got to the point of me and you, like him, something about the Grand Canyon and
Yeah.
our car.
Yeah, no.
I remember vividly.
You remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Care to enlighten us.
Dude,
What?
I was driving
I
a
have
tractor
those lunch
trailer.
fucking videos.
Well,
Yeah.
No,
back
it
in the
started
day.
You're driving a
smaller.
tractor trailer, and then you were gonna like turn.
I have
and
senior
sideswipe
year
him
lunch
into
No,
the-
conversations.
it was a
still.
Lambo.
Shit.
Zach
Was
said
it?
if I
It
had a
was a
Lambo,
tractor trailer.
It was. Yeah, it was
Was it the first
definitely a
thing
tractor
we were
trailer.
talking
Yeah.
it was totally a Lambo. You had a sports car first.
Oh man.
And
It was
then
a
you
Lambo?
Maybe I upgraded to
You
wipe
upped
out
the
more of
s-
them.
Yeah, you did. Because you were like, if I could just line up more than one, I'd probably use a tractor
Yeah.
trailer and then like flip it at the last second. I'm like, Zach.
Smash
And
a
then-
couple and then throw the rest off.
Is this
Yeah.
Fast and Furious?
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's the new Fast and
We're
Furious.
family!
We're
gonna do this
Paul
together.
Walker died
That's-
4 movies ago,
that's
but
how
we're
they
still
kill-
going.
That's how they kill off Paul Walker in this series. They just CGI him for that one scene to kill him off.
Dead.
If
Yeah.
I was gonna go in a blaze of glory, that's how I'd want to do it.
Right.
Zach sideswiping you off of The Grand Canyon?
Yes.
That'd be a pretty badass way to go. Like, let's be real.
I mean, you died too.
Oh my
It's
God.
worth it.
We didn't say he'd live. It just said it'd be
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Ethan's like, why don't we just fly a giant seagull?
To the sun.
Right?
Yeah, let me just call Gandalf and get the giant eagles.
Yeah.
That'd be worth it.
Yeah, it would.
Right.
The new Hobbit sucked ass.
Do we even want to talk about? I was trying to imagine what Gandalf
No,
had to do to
saying,
get like
the
handouts
giant
from the
seagulls
Eagles.
in
So,
the new Hobbit.
how many times did Gandalf actually help the
I
Eagles
was
to
like,
get
what?
this many favors? Like every time he calls them off, it's like boom, Eagles every time, without a doubt. Like, did he watch their hatchlings
Dude,
or
they're
some
tight.
shit? I assume so. Like, dude, drugs and everything.
He was their surrogate.
Oh.
My eagle babies, bitch.
For a lesbian eagle couple.
Reminded of you, Gandalf.
It's eagle or seagull?
Both.
Eagle and seagull.
The entire bird community. He just,
Actually,
he
every-
just knocks up.
So Gandalf the Great is just the Lord of Birds.
Gandalf the gay here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi, boys.
Good one.
So, and when he's come on enough, he becomes Gandalf the White.
Oh God. Death by Bukake.
Ooh.
That's really what happened with the Balrog.
Oh
He
God.
jizzed on him until he was extinguished.
I'm no longer Gandalf the Gay.
And it took his life because he was, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. Too.
After like a fire truck's worth of steaming.
He's a wizard.
He
You're a
just
wizard,
conjures
Harry.
that up from his storehouses of magical entities.
Right. Anyway, does anyone else have an embarrassing story?
Weren't we waiting for Mr. Steven to enlighten us?
Dude, I don't know. There's been so much dumb shit.
This is a safe place, Steven.
No, it's not. Turn that shit off.
Yeah, we'll listen to that later.
When is later?
Like after the podcast.
Right.
Did everybody else
Stupid
have
bullshit.
embarrassing moments?
We were born, so yes.
No, like, did everyone else say theirs already?
In previous
I mean, I was the only one
episodes-
from episode 2 that was there. Mine was the time that I pinched off a turd going down the hallway in 5th grade. And went down my pant leg. I had to pick it up so that no one noticed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Damn. At least no one saw it. Like,
Yeah. Except
That's what
I
you
think
think.
I think Mrs. Tidd saw me. She was like,
that's who we had. She
I
fucking
was-
hated us.
I blew her a little kiss and
God,
walked
she was like,
off.
pull your
She
car.
went-
Because I was annoying.
I let the rosebud.
He actually blew the turd at her.
Oh, diaper lady.
Dude, while I'm
You really are a fat ass.
while I'm thinking of it, Dylan, we need to
Hurts my
tell
feelings.
some classic Henningsen stories.
Oh, God.
Did you want to start?
Do we want to start with? Let's start with the pandas.
Okay.
Okay.
What was her first name?
No, we can't say where.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
let's say her first and middle, and then her social.
Harrington.
I've got her social on lockdown. Anyways, so there was one day in class. Didn't know our
Brit,
class
that
was
was
the
it.
group of fucks.
What?
Brit.
We had. Who did we have?
That was her fucking name.
Finder.
We had Caleb,
Killer.
Alex. You were in there. Chase
Always
was
has
in
to
there. Were
kill.
you in that class?
I think so.
Were you in that class?
Were Brandon and Helen in it?
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause they used to-
They were-
No,
no,
it's like Caleb and Alex and them.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Brandon and Helen were
Megan,
together for sure
Chris.
senior year.
Well,
Because-
they were, because Brandon would always, like, massage her.
Yeah.
And Henningsen would be like,
That's so weird.
massage people in class.
I like
Yeah.
Ray.
Shut the fuck up,
That
Yeah.
sounded like Trump. You can't massage in the class.
baby.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't ours. Anyways, so it's like getting close to the end of class time, and we're all fucking around in the back, ready to go, right? And she's like, "Oh, I know what we can do." And like, she pulls up her computer in like Internet Explorer. Or
No,
something.
I've heard this
This
story.
is how it started.
No
we
way.
were doing Latin roots.
Was it Latin
way.
roots?
And she
I've
like
never had this
held
sour
up a
cream.
Latin
Holy
root and
fuck.
she's like, "Oh, what
they like-
words
are
come
they
from this?"
enlightening?
And it was
That's
P.
alright.
It was
They're alright.
PAN. And I was like,
the regular ones are good.
I said panda.
Okay,
so
I didn't remember that.
She was just like, and then she's like, "Well, that reminds me of these commercials."
And so, yeah, the whole class was like, "What are you talking about?" So she proceeds to pull up YouTube in the middle of class.
Oh, I remember.
And
Red-
she
red
types
tube.
in panda cheese,
Red
and we're like, "What is she smoking in class?" So she clicks on one of them,
People
and
are smoking at home
we're
for
all like
sure.
genuinely intrigued, right?
Yeah.
So this panda
She
walks
was
up after
always
some dude's
acting
like, I don't
high.
want this cheese, right? And the panda just stares at him. And then it picks up his keyboard and just smacks it across his desk and proceeds to destroy his entire office.
Yeah. The best one though was the guy was in like a hospital or something.
Yeah.
And he refused the panda cheese, and so
But
the
we had-
panda
we had
came
them
in
not together.
and pulled the plug on
Yeah.
him.
Well,
Oh
it,
my
it didn't pull the plug.
or was it an IV?
It was an IV.
Okay.
It was an IV.
We had like 3
Christ.
classes together, 6th grade. And then we
It
had
is
Sabbath
savage.
together.
Those are great
And we had
commercials.
Showmaker together, I'm pretty sure.
Pulled the plug.
But we need to tell the story about Henningson's mother-in-law.
Oh, how she hated her.
She died. Can
Yes.
you believe
Wait,
that?
what?
Did you know that? She
What are you talking
she
about?
got really aggressive cancer and she died.
Who?
Who?
That's so sad.
I know, it was horrible. Mrs.
No
her?
idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was like one of
Yeah,
my
I know she
favorite
does.
teachers.
Me too. She was fantastic. She
Is that middle school?
middle school. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
our middle school math teacher.
Sad.
She was the blonde one that was like, she had like a really strong personality. Like she kind of like told you how it was, but she was actually a really good teacher
was
and like
super sweet.
super sweet and down to earth. We were like on her good side and weren't, you know, like a piece of shit.
So
And
not
yeah,
us.
so she married some guy and was like Mrs. Allen, and then she got breast cancer and
Coach
came
Allen.
back and she lost all of her hair. She even like had a daughter with this guy, and her daughter
so
wasn't
fucking sad.
very old because she wasn't very old. She was like in her 40s, maybe like 50,
Yeah.
but not even probably.
She was young.
She probably wasn't even 50.
She had a lower back tattoo.
Super sad.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's how you remember
she was
her.
hot back in the day.
She was hot. I don't want to say anything now that she's done.
No, I'm talking like before we had her, dude. Like that back tattoo was when she was like young and super
Yeah.
hot. But yeah, may she rest in peace.
Alright.
She was a great teacher.
All right, so back to
Yeah, sorry.
mother-in-law.
I'm talking about sad shit.
So yeah, we're done with sad shit.
This is pretty
So
sad, too.
well, okay, yeah, Miss
Did she die?
mother-in-law was in the
I mean,
hospital.
it can't get any sadder than that.
We're losing people left and right.
Right. No, her mother-in-law was in the hospital, and she always talked about how she hated her mother-in-law. But the mother-in-law was like in a coma or something,
Oh
and
my
she
God.
she was talking about how they brought in the grandkids to visit her one day, and she woke up just long enough to spring up out of bed and scream, "Kill me!" And then
No.
went back into a coma.
No.
And literally, I thought everyone would laugh in the class. Me and Dylan were the only ones. We were like losing our shit.
You guys are horrible.
It was pretty good though.
Do we want to talk about that radio and girls?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Zach is the only person laughing in the
Clip
whole
the
class.
door,
Okay.
you piece of
So,
shit.
if no one has ever seen the movie Radio, it's a heartwarming tale of a retarded black kid that becomes like
A
Like the
mascot.
town hero.
I wouldn't say the town hero. He's like the ball boy for the football team.
Right, he's like their mascot.
Hey, to retards,
Jesus,
everyone's
Zach, you're like giving him no
inspiration.
credit. You're like, he's just some retarded nigga.
Okay, that doesn't work. Be like a war hero. No.
To us retards, he's
So-
inspiration everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, so
Yeah, this is explicit. Don't let
so
your
the
kids
kid,
listen to
the,
this.
the kids in Radio were total assholes to him, and they like locked him in the supply closet.
Yep.
And when the coach found out, he like unlocked the door and let Radio out, and he just like flies out, clips the door, and just eats shit. And I thought for sure everyone would laugh at that.
You
but
always
it was,
think for
It
sure.
was just me.
It was literally only Zach.
It was like an awkward amount of silence after
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You guys left me out to
Todd was
dry.
probably like, that's my nephew.
Yeah, no.
Probably why I hate that little shit.
My uncle's the English teacher. He was swallowing his laughter too.
He just looked at you across the room, rage in his eyes, was like,
For sure.
Do you remember
little
that
shit.
time? Remember that
He's
time
acting like
Sarah-
Alan.
when Sarah fell asleep in his class and he like kicked the underside of her desk.
every time.
Yeah.
He was like, she was like face out on the desk and he just like kicks it and she was like, oh, like
Yeah.
I was like,
All
oh
of
my
these
God.
teachers.
Didn't he say something like "That's for Pearl Harbor, bitch" or something like that?
I
don't
don't think he
think
would have
so.
said
I,
that.
I think I heard him say that like
Todd?
under his breath. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he
just-
said that.
I don't believe it.
Or like when he
Yeah.
kicked a hole in his podium.
That I
Yeah,
do
that was
believe.
funny.
Him on Facebook is just too much for me. He's like, I'm not gonna be on Facebook. It's just too much for me and shit like that. And I'm just like,
He's such a puss.
are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? But
I
no,
will fucking
I
murder
thought
you.
like Teaching at that school has to be fucking horrible because all of these teachers keep retiring at their 25-year mark like as soon as they can,
Yeah.
just to get their pension.
I find it
Because Todd's doing it too.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
he's
he-
on Facebook and he's like, I'm gonna find another job. Like, what does he want to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. I was gonna say he was over for Christmas Eve, and we were watching the classic.
Forrest Gump.
No,
National Lampoon?
National Lampoon. Yeah,
Every
yeah,
year
yeah,
I
yeah.
watch it.
Yes.
Wait,
And
that's
so-
like Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
The Christmas
Okay.
Vacation
Yeah.
with Chevy Chase and
Of
everything.
course.
Yes.
And so
Watch it every year.
there's the part in there wherever the cat eats through the electrical line to the
Of course.
tree and like gets fucking roasted.
Yes.
And Todd's cat died like a couple years ago.
Oh, no.
I wasn't like 100% sure, but I still made a joke like, "Oh, that reminds me of Daphne" or something.
You said that?
He just like kind of looked at me. And
You
like,
said that out loud?
yeah, he was like,
If my cat died and you said that, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm burning your house down.
that might have even been how she died. I don't remember. It was either
my
old age or she chewed electrical shit. I want to think that was electrical
No,
shit.
I
Naturally,
think
that's
she was
only the
old because I remember him on
Yeah.
Facebook being like, after 18 years.
Of marriage.
Why are you friends with teachers on Facebook?
I'm friends with Todd, Mark.
Were you friends with Mr. Legay?
Oh yeah, he was.
Were you here when we were talking with Jared
Yeah.
about
thought he heard
how
about all
Mr. Legay messaged him on Facebook?
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Dude, that was the best.
It was like a few years ago,
Dude,
right?
Jared could have been molested hardcore.
It wasn't when we were in high school.
Gosh, I wish he would
Well,
have.
it's like right out of high school because he's like,
Yeah.
we should get all the choir kids.
It was like
together.
2013 or something.
Good
It
luck.
was a few years ago.
We can't even get a 5-year reunion together.
5 years is too soon.
It
That's
is.
why.
Right.
Not,
I was excited
not
for
soon
it.
enough. I was
10
not
is
excited.
10 will maybe be soon enough. Like
Well, we saw most of them anyway at Main and Mill.
Yeah, that's
whenever
close
they have
enough
that,
to a reunion.
whenever they have that street fest, dude, everybody who fucking still lives around here
Yeah, I was
came
just
out.
like,
Yeah, that was a good time.
I saw
That-
you there, bitch.
that
You
was
kept
the
walking
reunion.
right
I was
by me.
drunk.
I even called your
Yeah.
name. You were walking with AJ. I had a fucking
I don't remember this.
Jack and Coke in my hand and nachos. I'm like, Dylan! And you just kept going like, go fuck yourself.
Clearly.
Jack and Cat.
Dylan leaned over to AJ. He's like, ignore him. He'll leave.
If you ignore it, it'll go away.
Is Micro Nips coming?
No, he's sick.
he's got
What the
flip.
fuck?
He's got the
I don't know.
bubonic plague. Give him a
What the?
rest.
I don't give
No.
a shit if he has the bubonic plague.
Sir.
I don't care if he has
Hey,
influenza
Chase
A.
could have ran up here, but he didn't.
I mean, the kid has AIDS, obviously.
No one appreciated my everyone has AIDS gift the other day. Just saying. That shit was funny.
We know
Someone
you have
mentioned AIDS, so I was
I
like,
did.
perfect time. Team America
Right.
reference.
You gonna cry?
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
Fucking cry. Let it out. It's healthy. Okay, don't sound like a bitch when you cry. Just cry. Stop sounding like a bitch. You sound like Jerry.
You're making it worse.
Jerry!
Just gonna burn Jared's house down with a minute.
That's good. That's good.
I like
Burn
his-
the sickness
Telling you,
away.
we're gonna make black bales with micro nipples in them. That's what we're doing.
And also Nick.
Oh yeah. That's
We keep
Pokemon.
forgetting about Nick.
Where's Nick? Yeah, we always do.
Pancake
Where's
recipe?
Nick then?
He had to work
Is
later.
he getting fucking Angela pregnant again?
Oh
What's he
boy.
doing?
Yeah. No, he's finding a chick with more kids to knock up. Actually.
Yeah. Is he dating another one with 2 kids?
Yeah, he's with
gonna knock
with
her out?
Octomom actually. He dumped. He just bought a house with Angela. And
That does sound like
He
Nick.
just bought a house with
He's just
Angela,
gonna
and he's
dump
like,
her?
yeah, I'm done with it.
We're done.
Wow.
He actually went back to Mary.
Oh my god.
And Mary's just okay with everything.
Right.
He's,
Not
he-
soon enough.
he's legally adopting Maddie.
Ah. You know, the number of Facebook pictures I see, sometimes I think that. Like everything.
I
is
mean,
like-
I'm sure it'll
I'm happy
happen.
for him. He seems happy.
Yeah, that's
Nick, if
fine.
you're hearing this, we love you.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta give him shit. Like we give all of us shit.
Yeah, it's an equal amount. If any of this happened to any of us,
Oh yeah.
it would still be hashed.
Hash slinging.
Hash swinging
slinging.
slasher.
Smash swinging.
Fat bringing. Oh,
That's me.
Right.
that's me.
That was my
Fat
name in
bringer.
college.
Right. So Lucas doesn't live here anymore?
No.
They fucking.
Where did he
Him
go?
and Steven
To
had a
my
lover's
house.
quarrel.
Oh, I thought
You
Mike
guys
came
aren't getting
over and
along.
mistaken
Huh?
him for Steve.
You
and
and-
fucked
Yeah,
him
fucked
to
him to
Don't
death.
get
Yeah.
along.
death.
he hasn't talked to me since he left.
Oh, I just thought you like kicked him out or something.
Wait, did he leave on his own?
Not exactly, but
Close
You're like,
enough.
get the
This is my
fuck
life.
out of my house.
Right.
It was an ordeal.
It was an ordeal.
But it's
Did he try to show you his 12 guns?
Oh my
No.
god.
His 21 guns.
Oh, what are you, Green Day?
Maybe.
That's what I was just
I'm
thinking.
the entire band, Green Day.
Wow.
We're in one entity, like the children from down the lane, kids
Oh my
next door.
God.
We're a bundle.
The delightful children from across the street.
The delightful children from across the lane.
Yeah.
This dude was that dude for Halloween. Like,
What the fuck?
Vitas.
yeah.
I've seen a bunch of fucking Vita shit since you mentioned him. That
Yeah,
one
yeah, I
time.
know, man. It's everywhere now.
Literally, he was not even on my radar until like Ethan imagined
and then
him
you-
into
and then you
existence,
noticed-
and now he's just a
Yeah.
thing everywhere.
Like that?
No, it's always been a thing.
I've
saw
never
that one
seen
video
Vitas
of,
in my
the
life
parakeet
before
with the
that.
cup. Have you seen that one?
It's been a thing
Yeah.
for at least like a couple years.
Because
Because like for at least a year, because my friend who's British, who I play Battlefield with, I always tag him with that meme because there's all kinds of memes. Like there's like the otter ones and like
Yes.
different types of animals.
Vitas
Like,
is
cats.
Russian.
So many.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
huh? Who's Russian?
Shut up.
Vitas?
He's Russian.
That's a Russian dude.
Yeah.
He does opera. Why'd you tag him with a British guy?
Opera in cunnilingus.
At the
Just
same
because it's
time.
a meme, that's
And
funny,
great
and
pussy
we laughed
looking
about it.
techniques.
The pussy is my instrument.
I can make that clip bounce so fast.
He keeps a beat with it.
Yeah.
It's like the new version of Stomp. It's sexy Stomp.
Sexy stomp.
It's a working title.
Yes. Steven, tell us your embarrassing shit, dude.
Shit, I really can't think of anything.
The time that you broke up with him, Lee.
Oh,
That's pretty bad.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. Tell it.
No, we've been through this like 4
Bitches.
times. We
No.
mention it like every podcast.
I know. It needs to
We
stop.
do not. We've mentioned this in weeks.
I don't even know.
We haven't had a podcast in weeks.
Right.
Exactly.
Sweet Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus. Do one of you guys want to inspire Steven by telling your embarrassing shit?
I once open mouth kissed a horse. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we've all
Really?
been there.
That's not embarrassing. That's expected.
Yeah.
Everybody's gets those ones. Ina.
Zach uses a penis pump.
Ooh.
Don't need one. They don't make
You
them.
use it.
They don't make them big enough.
Zach,
baby.
he
It's
is a
not
penis
mine.
Uh,
No, use it.
one receipt for Austin J. Powers.
For
One
a Swedish
book
maid.
by Austin Powers. Ah.
My
He goes,
Swedish,
ah.
my Swedish
I'm
penis
just gonna
pump
sign
and
the form
me.
to get things moving. He's like, Mr. Powers,
Quickly.
quickly. Like puts the penis pump in his bag.
I think he puts it on, actually.
No, he puts it in his little.
He swallows it.
Like a snake.
Yes.
His mouth unhinges.
Much like Kathy's.
Right.
So much fucking has like put her through advanced quick evolution to be more of a sexual host.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. She's like an X-Men. That's her power.
That's her mutant power.
Yeah,
Her genes
adapt for sex acts.
adapted for sex. You're meant to give birth, but my tubes are tied, so you're meant for sex.
Exactly.
Oh god, you're a perfect specimen.
So Dylan, I guess while we're waiting for them to think of their embarrassing stories,
Yes, Daddy.
you know the Bill Gates scenario, correct?
I may be privy to that, yes.
Are you on board?
No.
Wait. Let me hear your reasoning.
China.
All right. You have a valid point. But for all of Bill Gates' wealth,
I mean, $20 is $20, but come on now.
right?
He's not that
You
rich.
have to let me out, pops.
Are you on board with this?
Oh, dude, I was all about it.
Ah,
You'd be set for life.
is Ethan on board with this?
Wait, here, I'll
No,
speak to
Ethan
this
was like
one.
the one person that was not on board with it.
Is Steven on board?
Steven, were you on board? You believe Bill Gates, didn't you? I'm pretty sure you did.
Hang on, when I get...
Is that Chase?
It sounds like Chase.
It's a black guy. You guys are fucking
Kevin
racist.
Hart? Chris Rock?
Will Smith? Tyrese Gibson?
It's not Chris Rock, it'd be Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. The gay dude?
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's thinking of Chris Tucker.
That guy's he's funny as shit.
Right.
Get your black people straight.
Dylan, do you have any other humorous stories?
Humorous
To tell.
stories.
Yes.
Do they have to be of any kind?
Remember that one time we were playing paintball and we killed Lucas so many times?
I mean, that's like a daily occurrence for me. Funny
How
stories.
embarrassing for Lucas.
Lucas being alive is embarrassing.
Oh my god.
I'm related. I'm allowed to say that.
They know too much.
We know too much!
Get down! Get down
Everyone
again!
thinks that the PS5 is going to come out in 2019.
I know,
That's
just
phenomenal.
rumors. I
Like,
don't know.
I don't know why people keep saying like the next gen's coming when nothing is fucking coming out for this gen yet.
I
Basically,
mean, it's going to come out in the next 3 years max.
maybe.
For
If you think about the Xbox 360,
Xbox-
that lasted
the
for like
Xbox-
10 years at least.
No.
It was 11 years.
Because it was a 05. It was
oh
05.
07.
It was 05 when 360 came out. Gears was
Yeah.
06. Pretty sure.
Because the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013.
It was either late 12 or early 13 because I was a
So
freshman
we have
in
at
college.
least 2 or 3
We
more
were
years for these consoles.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem like anything monumental's come out for them yet.
Because nothing has.
Yeah, they're
Right.
just keeping up to par because of like merchandising. Like the only ones who are actually renovating. Wow.
Innovating.
Innovating. Thank
Nintendo.
you.
The interior design
is
is
the
atrocious.
Switch. People
Yeah.
love the Switch. I never
Yeah.
hear complaints about it. I think it's awesome.
That is.
So like, good for Nintendo.
As
Still
long as they
being,
keep
like,
releasing games for it.
yeah, that's their only downfall.
Yeah.
But I like that they take time on their games because they always win awards. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, they're always like on the top list of best games ever.
And that, they're like, man, when's the next Nintendo game coming out 3 years later? God, this game's fucking amazing! It's
Right.
like, no shit, they took time. It's not fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, just.
Oh, it's been 6 months. Better release another Call of Duty.
November 22nd, 2013.
Oh, have you seen Last Jedi yet?
Has Steven seen
I think
it?
we didn't get into this. What were your thoughts, Ethan?
You saw it? He saw it?
Yeah.
You rolled your eyes?
Yes.
Okay, first off, what did you like about it?
Oh, okay. I like that. Starting off positive.
And we'll end on a negative note.
The eye roll was...
Yeah,
It was
that-
I don't
substantial.
know if that was warranted.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
compared to the prequels, how do you judge it?
The prequels,
Okay,
yeah.
rated
1, 2, and 3.
Okay, to the prequels.
So far,
we're-
for 2 movies, and Disney's 2 movies.
Okay, if we're going off of the prequels and we're comparing it like episode 7 to the 4, 5, and 6 and episode 8 to 1, 2, and 3, is that how we're doing it then? Because that's how I compare them in like...
I mean, the original 3 is the best. They will stand the
Before
test.
five
of-
and six.
Episode 1, 2, and 3?
But 4, 5, and 6
Yeah.
were more like episode 7. That mean like they may not have been awe-inspiring, but they had story and plot, and the ball moved. In this one, nothing really happened. It was like episode 1, 2, and 3. I had a really hard time enjoying this movie because nothing developed other than a lot of people bitched at each other, and they just, literally nothing got done. Nothing got done in this movie. It was like watching. This is how I've been describing it to people. It's like watching a Friday the 13th movie. So Jason Voorhees is Smoke's ship, and everyone else is a teenager. And they're like, "Oh no, I tripped, dead. Oh no, we're running away, dead." And it just kept happening until that one bitch finally flicked on the light bulb and was like, "Oh, I could help them," and turns the fucking ship around. It's like, wow, dumbass, that should have been your first move. After they saw your best friends getting murdered. Now, I'm going to watch like half of them die. And then when Ray was on the island, it reminded me of the movie Hercules. Come on, Phil, teach me. fuck you. That was
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. Nothing got done.
That's a good comparison.
I did not think of that.
Yes, it's what it is exactly. And
It is.
she
Except
already
Phil actually teaches him more than Luke
Luke
did.
did. Yeah, most of
She
that
learned
shit.
literally nothing from Luke, except
Thank you.
like
That's what I was about to say.
raise some pebbles slightly.
Yes, she became more in touch with the Force. Other than that, she knew everything before she met Luke.
Yeah.
That's how episode 5 was too, though, kind of. Like, he just met Yoda.
But Yoda actually
Like,
physically trained
Did
him.
some shit.
Obi-Wan taught him a little bit before that.
Kind
He
of.
had 2 teachers.
Have you seen Last Jedi yet?
He ain't seen it.
Oh shit.
Are you
we
go?
can't-
Well, okay, he hasn't seen episode 7 even, so he's fine.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
He has,
You
don't
skipped
really care,
episode
do you?
7.
I mean, I do. I just haven't watched them yet.
Okay, well, we're talking about
We can change this.
Okay.
We can change the subject.
I'll fucking watch it. It's not gonna be like a life.
I mean, it's not that good.
He's it's worth watching.
I enjoyed it.
It's worth the watch. I'm not saying
Okay,
it's
so
not.
the first of the new ones to come out,
7 was pretty good.
I
It wasn't amazing.
watched
but-
most of.
I thought it was a good introduction into the new
It
trilogy.
was a great for new trilogy. That's why I loved it, and this was not a good stepping stone for it.
It was different.
So
I
the
disagree.
in-betweens-
It had a lot of logical flaws in it. Like for one, the fact that the one fucking feminist bitch, the pink-haired bitch,
What about it?
Dr.
If-
Ellie?
yeah, I don't know if that's her actual
No,
name.
that's the actor from Jurassic
feminist
Park,
bitch.
Yeah.
Dr. Ellie.
Oh, okay, whatever. But the fact that she didn't just, reveal her plan to Poe, instead she let it come to mutiny and I don't know, it just
But she knew that it would turn out okay.
it just didn't make sense to me.
Um,
that and the fact that literally no one had thought of this light speed thing. Like, I thought it was super badass. Don't get me wrong, that's a
That
badass
was super
scene,
cool.
It
and that
was
completely
cool.
validated the character.
Yeah, it did.
But the fact
It
that
made her
no
hero.
one had thought of kamikazeing run, you could just put use a drone or something, send it to a Star Destroyer, and that one drone would fucking destroy the entire thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's a pretty big plot hole.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, though. Every piece of debris now that was moving at light speed is going to keep moving at light speed. So you've got these suicide bombs running across the galaxy until they hit something. That's probably why people don't do it.
No, but if they show up, right in front of the Star Destroyer and then light speed again, then yeah, they'd be able to.
Once again, though, you have to come out of light speed, not get destroyed.
But they
by
already
light
do
speed.
that. They
And then
already bring their ships over,
It's
have
also-
a little X-wing fight against the TIE fighters and shit. That takes a lot of time to set that up.
This is also different physics, galaxy far, far away kind of thing. So we have to put our mindsets into maybe some shit's different.
I guess.
So I give them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. But the one thing that bothered me,
Are we gonna talk about Leia?
The Leia scene.
she's
Okay.
more sensitive.
No,
Okay.
no. Okay.
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 All right.
Yes.
We
I'll
all
give
just
you
kind of
that.
looked at each other like.
What was
like,
your reaction when?
Yeah.
With the
You were-
pose,
you were-
what
You
did
were just
say to
okay.
that?
You were like, this is perfectly acceptable. Like
Wait,
this
when
isn't this isn't weird.
When she got sucked
When
out,
she Superman pose, super fucking
she's
bizarrely.
more sensitive.
No shit, but the way that she did it,
It was
didn't you think that was
horrific.
bizarre?
That was the most
No,
horrific
it's
part of the
fine.
movie, probably.
It was fine. It was
she's
character
okay.
development.
First off, she's no. She's never used the Force before in her life. She's
Force development?
She's not surprised
No.
at all.
She's used the
perfectly
Force.
calm.
She's like telepathy, with Luke.
Okay, but she's never used
How do you know?
Right.
She's never shown enough.
Okay, they never show it in the movies.
We're just basing it off the movies.
That
we've
and the
seen.
fact that the entire fucking
That not even
capsule,
makes it sound
the entire
even worse.
capsule was filled with flames. Everyone else is dead. She doesn't have as much of as a scorch mark on her when she's out in space. She's fucking fine.
Right. It'd be like. Space
She
is a
showed
vacuum.
in Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker burned, episode 3 burns, at least.
The one thing
There was a huge explosion. I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't.
unless she activated a very tiny field around her before she got sucked up, she would have died from the whiplash. That's
her
what I
being
think.
sucked out, I thought would have
the
killed
vacuum
her.
would have killed her.
Right.
It would have crushed her. But I thought it was neat that she was force sensitive. I think they could have showed it before she got sucked out.
I think that was a bad way to show it.
It was.
Yeah, they could have been her, grabbing a pear or an apple. That'd have been funny, but
Well, just some kind of inkling of she's kind of has something weird going on. Like she kind of
Like
feels
when
powers
she pees,
coming on.
she controls it.
Yeah, like she can like use a force cock
can
to
use
direct.
her-
I want to go
direct
see
her
it again. I
stream.
want to go see it in the IMAX though.
I do want to see it again because I feel like coming out of it, I thought it was a lot better, and then like I started thinking about like a lot of plot
Every
holes and
flaws.
shit. I was like, oh,
Another thing that bothered me was Kylo, who has been trained,
yeah,
and then Rey, our sweet little cinnamon bun, who's not trained really at all in anything. She's efficient with the staff. This is a different between a staff and sword.
Mhm.
And then they fought the Rey guards, the Red Guards,
yeah.
That scene was
The
badass.
Praetorians.
That-
Praetorians,
okay.
which are fucking like super soldiers.
Can we agree that was one of the best fucking
It was
lightsaber
a cool
fights in the
scene,
entire series?
But they,
Oh, it
I
was
think Kylo would have been doing all the work,
super
and she would have
badass.
just been slaughtered.
Well, so,
Okay.
okay, but if you look, and okay, I've seen the movie 3 times now.
Holy
Jesus,
shit.
no.
So I've seen this fight 3 different times now.
Why?
Because my family went and saw it, I went and saw it with some friends, and then we all saw it.
Wait, you have
Okay.
friends? No.
Yes. So yeah, so I've seen
Friends.
this fight 3 different
I don't even
times
consider
now.
him a friend.
And if when you go back and watch it, Kylo's fighting 4 of them,
Yeah,
and
Kylo
she's
fights
fighting
more.
2.
He does fight more.
So yes.
But I also heard the explanation that the reason that Rey is even Force sensitive is because the Force had to balance out the fact that there's a new Sith in the universe.
And
so,
that's exactly what Snoke
Yeah.
says.
and that's why when she's on
I like that.
when
Snoke
she's
died.
on the island, that's why she's starting to get better with the lightsaber by herself without any training from Luke. It's
Right.
because the
It's
Force
natural.
the Force is like
It's
she's
intuitive.
becoming more Force sensitive.
Yeah, it's intuitive for her.
Right.
Kind of like I'm one with the Force is with me.
Right.
Yeah, so that makes sense that she wouldn't need years of training like with the Jedi Order because there's so
There's
many
so
of them
many
fucking
of
running
them.
around. They're all like, I'm
Right.
kind of Force sensitive.
I'm
You're gonna
willing
know.
to accept that.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Yeah, but that little kid at the end, yeah, Rey's weaker now.
He's leeching off of her Force.
I really think
Power!
that the way they used Luke was they should have done that differently.
It was
for sure.
awesome. That was the strongest Force ability ever shown. He astral projected himself
Like,
millions of
How
miles
would
away.
how would Luke just let all of that shit just burn down and just leave and just go off to
Are you talking about
a
the Jedi
desolate
Temple?
place.
Is that what you're talking about?
the Kylo part, like where he wakes
talk
up
about
and
he's not
everything's
the hero we
gone and
wanted
he's just
him
like,
to
well,
be.
fuck this, I'm gone, I'm out.
Mm.
It's
No
kinda like,
way.
I compare Mark Hamill's old Luke kind of like old man Logan. For
Mark Hamill didn't
Wolverine.
like that part.
Because they've
Yeah,
kind of
I
just
heard
given
that.
up mentally and they're just moving on the best way they knew how.
Yeah.
So that's how I compare them. So he doesn't like really give a fuck, but he does kind of in the back of his mind, just like Logan.
Like, he wants to,
Yeah.
but he doesn't feel that he has anything that he can do anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
It's-
why I was like,
it's
that's such a
alright.
good comparison.
I didn't like the little cop out death at the end because like I thought the astral projection thing was fine. I like that there's
It's
new
cool.
Force powers and shit, but I think they should have revealed that because you know how Luke said prior to this
That
he-
part was pretty cool though, where it was he thought that he was like fire on him.
Yeah,
that
that
part
was cool.
That
But
part was cool.
What I was leading into is on the island, he says, "I came to this island to die." I think a better twist would be that he was dead
If
this
some shit
entire
did
time,
happen.
and that was his Force ghost.
Force
Holy
Ghost on
shit.
Force
The
Ghost.
rebellion
Either way,
was
he wanted him to
the
die.
rebellion.
So that
was
would've been cool.
Gone. Some shit did happen. But then Luke
Oh,
did
a lot of
that.
shit did happen.
He let him escape.
A lot of
It's not like
things
nothing
didn't happen. Though. They moved about 2 inches in space, went to a new base, then got anally fucked again.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like it was the entire movie was just like the
Them panning back to the fight.
Leia's ship slowly moving back. Like I do not buy that with all those fucking Imperial Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
They ain't have enough to like down those shields. Give me a fucking break.
All of them could have went like, okay, put power to engines.
The Finn and Rose Vegas part was weird too. I thought.
Okay, the
Yeah,
casino
the-
should have never have happened.
Rose was an abortion. She should not. She should not have been a character. She was like the Jar Jar of this series.
I don't
He's
think
just
she's
so happy
as
to
bad
be
as
with
Jar
her.
Jar.
Not
as bad as Jar Jar.
Useless. Useless. They just threw her in to have a fucking Asian in the movie.
I thought what was really cool was no. Are we still talking about positives or negatives? Because we've been bouncing.
I mean,
It's kind of been both
whatever
back
you
and
want to
forth.
talk about, bro.
So I
Can
love.
I pee?
Yeah, you can pee.
Pee on me.
I'm gonna piss in your mouth.
R. Kelly.
Shit on these walls. I'm in the closet too.
Fucking Scientologist.
Is he a Scientologist, R. Kelly?
That was the whole thing about the John Travolta and like Tom Cruise.
No,
The
that was-
South Park episode.
Yeah, that was all that was because they were all gay, not because they were all Scientologists.
Because they were all in the closet.
Unless that's
Yeah,
like-
coming out of the closet.
Is that synonymous? Are all gay people in Scientology? Did we discover a conspiracy?
Illuminati. But
Now after the closet.
so two things.
Okay.
Okay, maybe three things. I loved Rogue One. This will come into play when I talk about this next scene.
See, I did not like Rogue One. I thought it was just generic.
It was the best Star Wars film that ever come
Generic?
out.
Get out of here, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
Explain how
You are high.
Explain how it's generic. I want to hear your reasoning.
Yeah, I want to hear it too.
All the characters are generic besides like the Asian dude that had like,
That makes it feel more real, though.
I guess.
Why
but
does everybody have
nobody
to be, like,
nobody
a
was
hero?
nobody
Yes.
was memorable. It was not a story
You
that I
know what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know
it
they all died.
wasn't a story that I wanted to know. Like, we already know what's going to happen. I didn't care about any
Yeah,
of
but
the characters.
It was beautiful the way they worked up to it, though. And they made lovable characters in such a short time.
No.
Yes.
All these side stories that they're doing, like fucking Solo and like a
I don't
fucking
want to
like
see Solo.
Boba Fett movie, like I don't care.
Okay.
I do not
I
care.
wouldn't want to see the Boba Fett.
No.
Yeah.
The
No
one,
interest.
the one,
Flamethrowers.
No.
No.
interest for me.
the one that I would be interested in is
You want to go see it, Dylan?
is a Yoda movie where it's young Yoda.
Okay, there you go.
That'd be
pretty kick-ass.
interesting.
So Boba Fett is the opposite to Yoda in heroes to villains.
Okay, I guess, but
Okay, then
He-
do you want a solo
he's just
movie
not-
about Palpatine?
that'd actually be cool if it was him with
Okay.
Plagueis back in the
Yeah.
day. That'd be cool.
Where Plagueis was so strong he couldn't die?
A Plagueis movie would be cool.
It would be cool. I'd love to have an old Republic movie. I think that's what they're talking about doing with Ryan Johnson. Like, they're already talking about him
We'll
having
make-
his
I like
own
Ryan
trilogy.
Johnson.
We'll make 76 video games of the Old Republic, but we'll take 10
I'll
years
just
to make
take
a
a new
fucking
Star
movie.
Wars game where you can actually do some lightsaber combat. Like,
Give
let's
me
go.
3.
Just play.
What
Old
about
Republic.
Lego Star Wars Episode 7?
I don't have that one yet.
Get it?
It's like
It's
VR.
hands down the best besides Lego Rogue One,
Is that a thing?
which
Yeah,
is the
I would
best
play
Star
it.
Wars.
Is it a thing?
Hey,
I'd play it.
Justin, thoughts on this? Ethan said that Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. What are your thoughts on that?
He's serious.
Yes!
Look at him when ask him.
Yes. Yes, I loved it.
I mean, I thought it was good, but the best one.
The best.
I
Just
thought
in my
it was
opinion.
just generic.
Just in my opinion.
I thought that it was.
That's fine if you
I
like
thought that it was
I,
like.
I just wasn't about
I
it.
thought that it was like a good little story, but I didn't think it was like anywhere close to top 2.
Yeah.
I like
Okay. What were we talking about on
You
episode 8?
think it's
before
better than
this?
like
Oh,
Return of
so
the
he was
Jedi,
trying to
Empire
tie in
Strikes
something
Back?
from Rogue One.
Okay, so
Wait.
yeah, I was pulling in the Rogue One, and the scene at the beginning when
5
they were
and
having,
6 are the best.
Ooh, 6.
I like 6.
So whenever the
It's
dog
alright.
fight was happening and the bombers were
It's
coming
fine.
in, and then they showed
I mean,
that Asian
they're all
girl's
pretty
good. The ending's
like
good.
struggle.
Do you watch
She's
the story?
underlying hero, just like in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I love that scene because it's like Star Wars is based off of World War II, and this was the closest thing they've ever shown to World War II. Was Rogue One in the beginning of Episode 8, where like tons of people died, but they did something heroic, and they never got talked about again. Like, I think that's the closest we've ever touched on to actual war, and that's why I liked those scenes so much. Like that Asian girl's one of my favorite characters, and she never said a fucking word.
Rose?
No, her dead sister.
He's gonna chuck something.
I was
at
about
you.
to toss you out of this house.
I would have tossed myself out of this. With the Force.
Yeah, Finn's
What's her name?
Finn's whole
I'm not
story
done.
arc was fucking awful.
We'll get to that.
Can-
Like,
okay.
So
how
when
is-
Kylo
Tell me how
and Rey were
Rogue One
fighting.
is. Oh,
Shut the fuck up.
back to this. How is Rogue One the best one? Like, I have to
Whenever
know.
they were fighting over the lightsaber, I'm like, just turn it on. Turn it on. Just fucking
Zap.
turn it on. What's the worst? Either he gets it, you turn it on, it still cuts his hand open, or you turn it on, and it, no matter what,
Oh
you win.
yeah.
It's a win-win. You literally only had to turn it on.
Did you see my prediction for episode 8? Or
I
for
saw
episode
it.
9?
I have a really hard time
Yeah, I don't know about
with
that.
it
Okay.
because you can't astral project yourself to lay there dead for that long.
Dude, okay, but he's the most powerful
That means
fucking
Luke
Force
could've
user
done
in the
it
entire
without dying.
universe, though. That's what he's been set up to be.
That means
Snoke?
Luke could have done it
Yeah,
without
Snoke.
dying, though.
I don't think I'll have it.
Well, I don't think like that killed him. I think Luke was just like at peace after that, and he kind of gave him.
Do you see him
something.
sweating? I think he legit
Okay.
like.
Well, it's
seppuku
up
that.
for debate at least.
Nah,
Anyway.
Luke's gone.
He's
Well,
gone.
no shit,
Yeah,
Luke's gone.
Luke's gone.
But what did you think about the lightsaber idea? That she's gonna have like the staff blade, like Darth Maul.
I mean, it'd be cool.
I could.
be a
Oh
cool
come
development.
on!
It'd be cool, but they're never gonna give it to her. People like the nostalgic
A
one-hander.
staff blade.
Well,
Yeah,
like Darth Maul.
I know.
It's just dual.
Combining the blue and green lightsabers from Luke, I'd be all about it.
It wouldn't happen.
Okay, but where's Luke's lightsaber? Like, we don't know.
Back on the island.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
He
Where else
should
would he
be.
put it? Up his butt?
Maybe.
Keister it! No.
Right.
He gave it to that fucking green milk bitch on the island.
Green milk, bitch.
Pump my titties,
What
bitch.
the fuck was that?
It
by the
was
way?
Kathy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What are you talking about?
The fucking cow on the island that he got the
Or,
green
like,
milk
scene
from.
thing
yeah.
where he's like, I like it warm.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, what?
were showing
What
it-
is this?
I mean, Star Wars, alien.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're bringing back some of the weird that's
Yeah.
part of Star Wars.
So that's the thing that I did respect about this movie is they brought in a lot of things that the old fans would love this, and then they kind of tried too hard trying to get new fans to like it and kind of ruined it. Like we're trying to make this new trilogy to pull in the younger generation because they'll be the next fans.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're not doing that very well. Like if I had a kid, I doubt my kid would have appreciated that.
I think they're trying to stay loyal to the old fans because they're making already a fucking new trilogy.
Yeah, but then
with
the
new
old
people
fans are gonna die eventually.
That
and then,
right. That's why they're making this new trilogy to get all the new fans.
But they
hooked.
gotta lure them. That's the hard
Nothing
part.
to do with the Skywalkers. Like,
Mhm.
how are they going to do that?
Well, they're doing all right so far.
Yeah, they're fine.
Well, this is still. with
There's
the
been a lot of
Skywalkers.
Star Wars stories without Skywalkers.
Like,
But it's gotta like
Like
be
Rogue One.
force sensitive. These movies.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's gotta be forces.
so would you be okay if they made a solo Kit
They would have to
Fisto?
do it like a
what?
long
A Kit
time
Fisto
ago.
solo?
Bring it.
No, I feel like he's way too minor of a character to warrant his own
A Shakti
Kyon
solo.
a Plo Koon solo film.
Kyon de Mundi
Uh,
solo.
Agent Kohler.
Grievous.
Oh no, they could do a movie about the
Grievous is not as
No,
minor as all those other
They
ones.
could do a lead up into the
Well, he was only in one movie.
a lead up to the arrest of Palpatine.
Grievous was kind of random.
a lead into the arrest of Palpatine, and they could call it Suicide Squad.
I think that the first two of this new trilogy are already better than all three prequels.
I really liked Revenge a lot.
Really, I
High ground.
thought the end was good, and that's about it.
High ground.
I thought
High
it was all
ground.
good.
High
I
ground.
have the high ground
I have the high
DLC.
ground.
Yeah, thanks, EA.
You know what would have been really funny if Anakin would have just walked onto the beach and then just like walked up the hill with him? They would have kept fighting.
He jumped over Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Well, now.
You underestimate my power.
Anakin, you could just jump from the. Never mind.
He just keeps riding. Obi-Wan's like, come back.
I'll see you down there.
Fuck you, Master. I'm not falling into this.
Dude, imagine an alternate universe where you like totally miss out and Obi-Wan dies. Ooh.
I did see an interesting thing about the prequels where they were talking about how each villain in the, episode 1, 2, and 3 were like a representation of Anakin's fall to the dark side. So Maul was like representative of his anger.
Yeah.
Dooku was representative of his separation from the Jedi Order, and then Grievous was representative of
Yeah, but
his,
Anakin
him
never
becoming
met
like.
Darth Maul.
It doesn't matter. It's,
Oh,
it's,
Or Grievous.
Grievous is a representation of him becoming part machine afterwards. So I thought that was interesting.
Like all the tie-ins.
But he never fought Grievous.
It doesn't matter.
They're just
That guy.
It does
It,
matter.
it's just symbolism. He doesn't have to meet
they're
them.
just saying it's like out of box looking.
He met him. They met in the ship. Episode 3.
Well, they met during the Clone Wars and shit, at the very least.
Yo, what's up, fam? Get to the chopper.
Yeah, like they knew each other.
We're family.
Fighting Obi-Wan on.
Vin Diesel comes in.
How do you say
It's
it?
for the family.
Upatau or whatever the fuck
Yes.
that.
Udapau?
Udapau.
Dude, we should mix Fast and Furious with Star Wars. Wait, that was the last
We're about
movie.
to heist.
Walker and the
I
Millennium
want
Falcon.
Samuel L. Jackson to come back with the like wet curly hair and a lightsaber and an actual 1911.
Oh, that'd be
my
awesome.
I double dare you, motherfucker.
A Mace Windu
1911
prequel.
in space.
Yeah.
When there's laser guns.
See, that would actually warrant it, because I feel like with characters like Obi-Wan, at the very least, the expanded universe has gone into like every fucking day of his life ever.
Yeah, the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I feel like there isn't much there, because he's been in Clone Wars and Rebels. So we know everything that happened.
We literally know his dick went.
Yeah, we do. They went into that on season 3, episode.
Oh, when he fucked
26.
Anakin's apprentice.
Yeah. Ahsoka, yeah.
Ahsoka, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, you
it-
mean 4 inches? Yeah.
Yeah. I think you mean Force inches.
I mean,
Oh.
Obi-Wan's kill list was so big, I have no doubt his dick was like 8 feet long.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you wield a red lightsaber? You're dead.
He learned from Liam Neeson.
Yeah, once you learn from Liam Neeson, it's over.
Yeah, where's the Qui-Gon prequel where he's trying to find his daughter, and it's just taken except edited
Just like killing all
with a
those Sith
lightsaber
Lords.
and a blaster.
And he can turn
instead.
into a lion.
Yeah. That's a known Qui-Gon power, horsepower.
Did you guys like the Camino part in episode 2?
I thought Camino was really
It was
interesting.
alright.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I like the clones in general.
Yeah, I
think it was
like
Like
super
episode
interesting.
2 was alright. Like the
It was-
acting was
oh,
horrible. Like
the acting-
The acting was awful.
Them on Naboo-
The dialogue.
them
Oh
on-
my god.
horrendous. Them on Naboo, like, cut that whole shit
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
we could have skipped the whole thing.
Geonosis part was okay. The Jedi battle was
The,
cool.
the Coliseum, that was bad.
Yeah, the Jedi
Yes.
battle was cool.
Come
The
on.
Coliseum was awesome.
Like we showed
But-
episode 2 a lot,
but-
it wasn't really
But look
that
at me.
bad.
But look
the
at me.
acting.
Master
It was the
fucking
acting.
Yoda could have killed Dooku. Like, get real.
I mean-
Anakin killed him, like, easily in fucking the beginning of
Obi-Wan
3.
was there too, so it's
Yeah,
like support.
they were tag teaming.
Front and back.
It does not matter. Yoda could have taken fucking
Yoda should have been able to
Tyrannus.
kill fucking
Everyone.
Palpatine too,
That's
but he
true.
didn't.
But
They were
Palpatine
balanced.
was the Dark Lord of the Sith. I
Yeah,
mean,
they were balanced.
you have to give him something.
Yeah.
And he did really. I mean, I think that was a good little plot line. How he was in the Senate and worked his way.
I am the Senate.
Like that part was horrible. Like the like the little dialogue with Mace Windu was horrible. I think it's horrible. That part's
fucking-
horrible. And he's like power. He's like kills
Anakin,
4 of the
Anakin,
best
help me.
Jedi Masters
Help me.
on the fucking council. He's like, and they're just dead.
You
It's
can't,
like,
you
okay,
can't, you can't
George
counter that
Lucas,
form,
really?
Justin.
Like George Lucas, are you just giving
It's
up?
impenetrable.
I gotta try
there
one.
are no weak spots in
Yeah.
his stance.
Yeah, Palpatine's a samurai god.
Yeah.
Mifune. He wields Masamune from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. He
cuts,
is
like,
Sephiroth.
buildings
yeah.
in half.
Yep.
Fucking Raiden.
That's in the expanded lore. Yeah,
Yeah.
they reveal that.
Yeah, in a solo movie, they're gonna show it.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, fucking he actually has it.
What
We're
the fuck is
fuck?
this?
When did this shit get real?
I think
I
it's
can-
ridiculous
I can
that
expect
Maul
this at
lived
some
and got electronic legs.
I thought that was
And then Obi-Wan killed him
badass.
again.
stupid.
I don't know how he survived the fall. Is the one thing.
His
though.
pure
'Cause-
hatred kept him alive.
I mean,
Right.
there was a Sith Lord that survived on will.
yeah.
He was dead for so long, like the Force kept him alive.
Yeah.
And the pain was just so much, he eventually just died. He was a zombie.
My fan.
Your only fan.
I have a lot
yourself.
of fans in my house, actually.
You're like 31.
Yeah, fuck you, Ethan. Look at all
It's
that
like
shit.
26 fans. What's your electric bill?
Worth it to piss you off.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
You know what? We didn't even talk about Snoke.
Yeah, we did, kind of.
What
did.
were your thoughts on the way that they ended Snoke?
I wanted him to die.
No, he was
I did
easily like the most interesting part.
Yes.
That and Rey's parentage were the interesting parts of this
Well,
trilogy.
I don't give a fuck about Rey's.
Yeah, the
parents at this
parenting, I
point.
liked that they were nobody. That's how Anakin was.
Yeah,
Okay, if she was
it makes
born-
it underdog.
If
It's
she
the
was
underdog.
born of the Force, that would have been interesting. Because like when she was down in that little dark Sith hole, and it kept showing her, like she asked,
That's
who
just
are,
the
who are my
balance.
parents? And it just showed her over and over. I thought that would have been cool if that was like leading into her being a Force child.
I mean, guess who was on the other side? You know who that was?
Kylo.
Right? Oh, Kylo, are you saying Kylo's her father?
Shut the fuck up. Your parents are nothing. Why are you shitting on
She's
yourself?
probably gonna
Kylo?
change Kylo in the third one, just like
Oh
Luke
yeah,
changed
absolutely.
Vader.
I mean,
Because
she-
there's obviously she's like there's good in him, just like Luke said.
I mean,
They're gonna bone.
I doubt it.
No, they're gonna have a graphic sex scene in this next Disney film.
It's gonna be NC-17.
Dude, I would shit. I would be all about it though.
fucking HBO. Fucking
He's like,
shows.
I'd be all about it.
Steven, how you like
Adam
sex?
Driver's dick.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on sex? I think the third act could have been a lot more,
a lot more
improved.
sex.
Yeah,
It is a kind of cake.
I think if Steven had killed Snoke a little later, it would have been preferable.
I kind of want Snoke and Rey to hook up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been hot. That would have been like
really
Yeah, when he's
the
on the
Jade.
like,
From,
"Now's the child."
it'd be like
Yeah.
Jade from Jackie Chan Adventures being boned by that wizard dude.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, we talked
That's
about
one of my
vagina
favorite
hands.
hentais. Yeah, yeah
Right.
his Daedara hands.
Deodara. I'm part of the Akatsuki. What's your power? You can leave. I chew up paper. Get the fuck out.
Oh.
I chew a paper.
I chew up paper.
Right.
You're the least important here.
Art is an explosion.
He was so fucking gay. He
You
was
Don just
more,
kills him.
more of gay Dora.
Deodara
Oh.
for the win.
I'd be furious if you didn't.
Am I going too fast?
Are we gonna bleed into Naruto from Star Wars?
It's kind of happening.
I'll talk too many hours about it. I don't want to get lost.
That fucking video that you sent me.
Oh my god, it was cancer.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
Fucking a guy dressed as Sakura with like pink chicken wire as hair.
Brilliant.
Arch.
Is an explosion.
Oh god.
Fuck yourself.
The pain, it feels good. Edon, such a badass.
I like T-Don.
Edon was like one of the greatest antagonists from that show.
I wanted them to get more into his religion. I thought that was really
Oh, the
interesting.
blood sealed people?
Yeah, they never
Blood
they
priests?
never showed anyone else from that race or like I don't know.
Yeah, probably
It was
because no one
interesting.
wants to fucking follow it. Because they bring you extreme pain.
There's a lot of masochists in
You
here.
literally have to die.
Steven, what's it like chopping your balls off and dying every day?
No doubt.
Hell yeah.
How was it bombing the Russians?
So you kill yourself and no, what do you say?
Chop your
your
balls
balls
off
off and die.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think I've heard enough.
About sucking your own dick? No.
Nah,
that- No, you definitely did.
No doubt.
Yeah, you said that.
Like 80 times.
400.
Steven,
A
what
fun
was it like
thing.
rigging the 2016
I'll have the
election?
exact number.
What was it like rigging the 2016 election?
What is it like being Vladimir Putin?
Jesus.
You
Who knew it,
bitch.
folks? Vladimir Putin right here in the living room.
Our homeboy, our OG nigga.
Vlad.
Vladdy
Vlad.
boy.
He never speaks in English the whole podcast. It's just Russian. So
That'd be
there's
fun.
no subtitles for him or anything.
No, we do subtitles, but it's all in Russian as well.
It doesn't matter.
Where's in wingdings?
What's the difference?
True. There's a lot more umlauts on Russians.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Steven, did you ever think of an embarrassing story?
Yeah, we've been talking for like half.
Yeah, we talked about Star Wars for a good 40 minutes.
It's not 40 minutes.
This is necessary, though.
It's like 20.
I still have so much to talk about, but it's not worth it.
There's not enough time.
There's not enough time.
There's plenty of time. You
Yeah.
guys leaving soon?
This is gonna be the.
They're mating.
Stop. Stop.
Oh.
Get up. Get up.
Fuck him right in the pussy.
Steven was a
It's like Trump.
Just like Trump.
No.
That was the joke, yeah.
Who's
Fire.
Trump? No, I'm just kidding.
What's a Trump?
What's a Trump? It's like a Trump card. We play
What's a
Yu-Gi-Oh?
trumpet?
A trumpet.
Could you imagine if they made an instrument like that that just makes like his sounds?
I would buy that
Yeah.
on Time Hop. the other
Yedge,
day.
It was it said like 8 years ago that we were playing Monopoly. You two.
Oh
and me.
yeah,
Was that the time we flipped the board, do you think?
but that's like every time. So
That's true. Just because we banded together. Because you had everything. You had all the hotels and all of the good shit, and we just happened to skip around them. Like, it was literally chance.
Yeah. Ethan's
It's
still-
not like we even
Ethan's
rigged it.
still
Ethan
salty
was
about
there.
this.
Like, we would just roll the dice and just skip it over.
Oh.
And he landed on one of my hotels, on like the orange one, and he flipped the board.
We owned like 2 properties on that entire board. Ethan had like literally everything
He
else.
like all the yellows, like the greens.
Yeah, we would land on like the card ones or like the free parking every time.
I think we even like would go to jail, and we were like, "Oh, that's fine, that's fine."
Yeah, we're safe.
Right. As long as we don't have to fucking. And then he landed on like my like Tennessee Avenue, which is an orange one,
Yeah.
and he flipped the fucking board.
It was a good time.
That's a good memory.
Oh, I actually did. Oh, maybe I did bring it up one time. Well, it took me 23 years to get to it, but I finally won Monopoly legitimately. Like, it took 23 years.
You actually played with who?
I played with
himself.
Yeah. That's how I won.
Good one.
I know, it was my D&D group. We were playing, and I won. I felt good. I was like, fuck Zach and Justin. I literally said that in my head. I was like, fuck Zach and Justin.
So
Glad we could have so much of an impact on your entire life.
You know what's my embarrassing moment? Being friends with you two. Crunch.
Fuck him. We'll kill him.
Stab his ass! You're dead to me!
May the lynching begin.
Chase isn't here.
I could be black.
So we're gonna wear blackface when we kill
Change
Chase.
your pigmentation to your skin.
Because, I mean, then no one will care. It'll just be like, you know, another drop in the bucket. Black on black
You mean
violence.
gang war?
Yeah.
Oh, gang violence.
Gang violence.
No, that's inappropriate. I'm gonna wear like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask or something.
What's the difference?
Wow!
A blackface Ninja Turtle.
like whatever color like a bandana is still there, but everything else is black.
Right.
Oh, it's Leonardo. Why is he what?
Black Leonardo.
Black Leonardo. What are you, a snapping turtle? Yes.
Yes.
More like a fapping turtle.
Dead. Get off your pornographic websites.
He runs.
Oh.
What do you
What do you think he has that
Oh my
beard?
god.
Yeah. It really stresses him out.
That
Trying to
fucking
find
Palpatine
porn.
thing that you sent me, where
The
it's
only
like,
lessons
instead
in
of saying
watching
this,
porn.
try this cool phrase instead. It's like, instead of saying,
I am the sentence.
yeah, it's like, instead of saying hello, say, I am the sentence.
Steven, wake your ass up, bitch. Is he asleep?
Nigga.
I
It was
see
like
that.
instead of saying no thank you, say
No.
This is a Dragon Age dialogue option? What is this?
I need to
it's
find
a-
this.
It's how to speak
It's
like
literally it's a
Sith.
page called Star Wars
Yeah.
memes.
This is
A
fantastic.
Dragon Age dialogue.
It's like the options you're giving.
Right.
Hey,
Well, that's unfortunate, but I
it's the
disagree.
Kunari. No. I'm Dalish.
This is a good one.
Oh.
The raw one. Remember I tagged you in that one.
Ultimate power!
Oh yeah.
This power is raw or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Get into the pond, bitch.
With my power bank.
I will fucking kill you.
Steven, my nigga. What was your embarrassing
Look what it
moment?
says. I've only seen this
Yeah,
raw
man.
strength once before.
Kid Fisto. It should have been the picture of him being downed by Palpatine.
Literally getting cut down.
I also like how in the Star Wars movies the continuity is really well when it comes to the apprentice will always kill the Sith Lord.
Yeah.
So they did that.
You'd think that they would catch on.
No. Once they become Sith Lord, that part of the brain turns off.
Uh-huh.
So it's coming to Kylo.
Okay.
And then
So Rey's gonna defeat him by becoming his apprentice,
Yes.
and then killing him.
yes, and then she'll
Naturally.
restore balance.
Yeah.
She'll become a yellow
She'll-
saber and then kill herself.
She'll wait like 500 years for him to be as old as Snoke, and then kill him.
Yes.
Hey, as long as it happens.
That's gotta be Ryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Another thing they do really well with continuity in the Star Wars universe is they show really well the difference between blue sabers and green sabers. Because green sabers means you're better with the Force, blue is a better warrior.
Or maybe
So-
they just like it better.
No, it's legitimately like the class.
What about purple?
That's
It's because
Samuel
they're like
Jackson
purple drink.
demanded it.
I know that's his stipulation on being
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
like, oh, I'll be in your movie, but it's gotta be purple. They're like, really?
They're like, okay.
Really?
Okay, that's pretty
They had
badass.
some purple drink in some of those scenes.
And
You just had to look
then
really
Star
hard.
Killer was like, I need a black one. I'm like, okay.
I was sad that they made that a legend instead of canon. I love
if that
Star
would have
Killer.
been canon, that would be sick.
Look at this.
Star Killer more like Star Destroyer.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves and Adam Driver
Oh,
look
yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Are they the same person?
No, they're not.
He just put a shit ton of moles on his face.
Keanu
Oh
Reeves
my
is a
god,
lot
stop.
What, Driver, what's his first name?
Adam.
Adam Driver. He was a Marine.
Yeah. I was surprised by that.
When you lied about your CV, but you still get the job.
3
It's a
p.m.
big bird. Oh.
Solid.
Look at this. Wait, what? I've tagged you in that before.
Yeah. No.
Jar Jar.
Steven.
Who would win?
I say we
Federation Destroyer
get
or one
Steven's
Yippee
car
Boy?
and we start driving it around.
Wait, what?
We're gonna go steal.
Yeah, this is what I
Steven's
tagged
car,
you in.
And we're gonna put a handicap sign through it that I just happen to
God.
carry with me. And then we're gonna set it on fire.
Wait, it's Jared's car?
No, Steven's car.
Oh, Steven's
Yes.
It's closer.
car. Yeah, but he's right here. That'd be mean.
That's okay.
He's not even paying attention. He wants to come.
Yeah.
Steven's Mexican.
Look
He
at
walks
this.
everywhere.
Ooh.
Ooh, he goes. Remember that time you walked across the
That's funny. I can't believe the audience score was that low, though. That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Steven!
It
What?
says child executioner.
That's me. Nice.
Right.
I'm trying to find the one. I've only seen this roster once before.
Oh my god.
Here it is. Here it is.
Use it on his
Oh,
ass.
okay.
9 conversational tricks to make people think
guys
you
gotta
are
hear
cool
this shit.
and the Senate. Instead of saying
am the Senate.
instead of saying okay, say this cool thing. It's treason then. Instead of saying yes, say this cool thing.
It's my new.
Do it. Instead of saying no, say no, no, no. Instead of saying I don't think so, it's not a story the Jedi will tell you. That's a good idea. Good. Good. I feel sick. Jedi taking over.
That's what I'm gonna yell now every time I feel sick.
This job is killing me. This attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed.
Every time
Is that
I
a
go to
threat?
work.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? I am better than you. I am the Senate.
Oh, is that your wiener? Oh, jerk it off, Steven.
Oh, he's using both hands.
Jerk-
Oh!
Jerks.
He's gonna rip it right off.
Dead. That's how Goofy
Oh,
died.
jeez, Max. You got a lot of cum on your face there.
Wow, Max, you chose his son.
Yep.
Maxie.
Yep. Oh, jeez, Maxie Pat, you better clean yourself up, you little bitch.
I think Goofy actually got with Max's girlfriend. That's good for that.
Is that what
And that's how
happened?
he was born.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's who the mother is.
We're going through some Kingdom Hearts shit.
It's a Back to the Future
Right.
bullshit.
That's how he did it.
Did you watch that animated one?
Yeah.
That's good shit. Justin, did you ever think of an embarrassing moments?
Every day he's alive.
Yes, true.
Wow.
Every time he wakes up.
I thought of one.
Yeah.
Say it.
Do tell.
We've been waiting.
Dylan might remember this one. It's been like a long time. It wasn't even like very significant.
When you
Go
guys
on.
kissed for
Wait,
the
no.
first time?
No.
That was
We
like-
were at his
touch.
we were at his parents' house and like we were all hanging out doing whatever and
And you kissed Chris in a Jeffco closet?
no.
Ah.
But like I was farting a whole bunch like when we were in the basement. So we went up and were watching a movie with his parents and like I didn't even think about it. Like halfway through the movie I
Han
just
Solo
like
the
let one
White.
rip. And like no one said anything, but like it was just really weird because it was like me and him and his parents, not just me and Dylan. So like I just let it go, and then I was like, "Ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that," because his parents are like right there. And I thought for sure someone would say something, but no one ever said
Nope.
anything.
Not a word was said.
I was just like, "Oh."
Your guys are so tame. I shit my pants in the hallway.
Zach, look at yourself.
Zach, you're actually just a psychopath.
You're a monster.
True. It is known.
You say the N-word all the time. You shit in people's cheese puff plastic.
That was funny as fuck, and you know it.
What?
Back in college, we had this big cheese puff container, and so I took a shit in it and left it in the bathroom for our suite mates to find, and it stayed there for a good, couple weeks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why?
My suite mate's girlfriend used the bathroom one time, and she just looked over and she's like, no.
When
You
someone
shit
flushes
in
the
it?
toilet
Yeah.
when taking a shower.
It's just like a little
The
deer.
attempt of my
deer
life
turd.
has left me scarred and deformed.
A little deer turd.
Yep.
I bet they look
I
at
really-
it and they're like, is
A
this
little-
people shit?
A little
Yeah.
pellet.
I really had to force it out because I did not have to poop at the time.
I hope you got hemorrhoids.
A little bit.
Stop it.
They don't ever touch Steven.
Oh.
Your tips?
Yes.
Make him touch.
Touch them with your tape.
Don't touch me with your tip. No!
What about the shaft?
No. No, Daddy.
Make him feel ashamed.
No,
No,
Je-
Daddy, no.
No, Jeffrey.
It's too late.
Someone
Daddy.
get a chair.
I've seen everything. I'm no longer afraid of chairs.
We'll see about that.
What about
We
like
shall see.
rich mahogany chairs?
Peed on by virgins with their first blood.
Oh yeah, that's Steven's chair.
Yeah. That's the door to Steven's cellar, made by Mike.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Oh, yes.
Steven was legit confused there.
Right.
He was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Nice
he
cheery virgin
he already
left in
he already blocked the memory.
Yeah, he
It's
did.
probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
Like the signals to that part of his brain, there's just a block there.
Literal brick.
Yeah.
Here's a good scenario that we can put Dylan through.
Oh no.
The Nigsaw scenario.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Dig Saw has you.
Yes, Nigsaw has you.
And so, what is Nixaw?
It's
Wait,
Samuel
wait.
Jackson.
Let him
Samuel
guess.
Jackson.
Let him guess
Okay,
what
okay.
Nigsaw is. I'll give you one guess.
Is it Mace Windu?
That's surprisingly close, actually.
Ah,
It's Black Jigsaw from the movie Saw.
ah.
You are so dumb. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
And basically, him, Mike, and Bill Gates abducted us and made us choose between drinking a shot glass of semen
From who?
Okay, good
from
for
a gay guy, and you have 10% chance of getting AIDS from this. Okay,
Okay.
versus a milk jug of bull semen, and you have to drink one to make it out.
The other one does not have AIDS.
You have 0% chance of getting AIDS.
But it's
a
like,
gallon.
It's a gallon.
It's a gallon,
And I
yeah.
can roll the percentiles if you want.
Now you can take your time. You can do this like
Emily got
over
AIDS.
time.
Emily got
Emily
AIDS.
got- she was the only one that
we
got
all
AIDS.
made it.
I took the gallon.
Zach took the gallon.
They took the shot glass.
They're letting JJ fucking write and direct the next one.
That's good. I'd rather have him over Ryan.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. It's a gallon of, like,
Bulls?
Bull
Semen.
semen. Yeah.
Yes. Bulls.
Or
or
a
a
shot
gay
glass
guys.
of gay guys.
What if you know the gay guy? What if it's Chris? What if it's Chris's semen?
That just makes me lean more towards the bull.
Yeah, and then he can like Chris can lord that over you your entire life that you drank his cum.
Yeah.
I think you would.
So you're not even gonna risk it for the biscuit? One shot. This much versus this much.
But 10% chance of having an awful fucking life after that.
It's not awful until 3 years after.
That's not
Okay.
very long.
First it's HIV, then it's AIDS.
You don't have to tell me that.
He's been there, done that.
He's a professional with AIDS.
And he has full blown AIDS.
That's just.
You don't have to tell me that. Damn, Dylan.
Damn. What's it gonna
I'm
be?
so sorry.
Steven.
So okay. Do I know this gay man?
No.
I don't have to.
Okay, give a response first if it's an anonymous gay person.
You'll never see them ever.
Because I'm pretty sure if it is Chris's, then you're going to go for the gallon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's an anonymous gay guy, now this might be Chris. There's a very small percentage. They might have recruited him.
I mean, okay, yes, it's anonymous, so I won't ever know.
Right.
But the chance is still there.
Already
Okay,
rolled.
Chris will know.
You already rolled.
Chris will know. Okay.
I'll
If
tell you.
if his is chosen, there's a pool of 10 gay guys that got chosen. There's
There's like a police.
there's a police
Yeah.
lineup. Nick Saw chose which one he wanted out of the herd of gay guys.
Ah,
The murder of gay guys.
the murder.
Like the crows.
Yeah, like crows. The pride of gay
Pride
guys.
of gay guys.
Yes.
Wow, Zach.
That's pretty good. I can't believe no one's ever made
I
that.
guess you've been watching a lot of Animal Planet.
Yeah.
Planet Earth 2.
Look at these gay guys in the natural habitat.
All right, for comparison's sake, if it's anonymous, we'll go with a shot because that's way less volume than a gallon.
Are you ready to hear your percentage?
Tell him.
Well,
does
it's
he
10%.
does he have AIDS?
He does not have it. It's 51%.
Aha!
Okay, roll it again to see if it was Chris.
Okay, what are we going with? Oh, below 10% again?
It's a 10%. Yeah.
It was Chris.
No shit.
4%.
Was it worth it, Dylan?
No!
Now you know too much.
It was not!
He knows too much.
Give me the gallon!
It's too late, bitch. You got AIDS.
I have to kill him.
Okay,
No,
Dylan,
you don't have AIDS, but it was
Dylan,
Chris.
you can drink 5 gallons of bull semen to go back in time. Do you do it?
Okay, when I go back, does it have to happen all over?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a chance every time.
So you gotta do the 5, and then you're back from the start where you have the
It's another
choice
shot.
of the shot or the big thing of semen.
6 gallons.
6 collective gallons.
All at once. No break.
Oh god, you're in puke. No, you can do this over like, okay, I'll say like a week's time. You can, okay.
He's like, no,
That's
I'm gonna give
reasonable.
you a week, 3 days.
Well, I did just start
Okay,
drinking
3 days.
alcohol.
3 days.
So, you know, that's pretty equivalent to bull semen. Okay, I'll let you spike the bull semen with your choice of alcohol.
No, with his own.
What?
With your own semen?
No, this is
You can spike it with your own... No, see, Dylan's such an alcoholic that there's a very minute concentration of alcohol in his semen to get him buzzed.
Your 0.08 whatever.
Do you take the 5 gallons?
I'm just gonna kill Chris and all of you.
No,
and
no,
you
no.
You can't
Chris
get
is
out of this.
Chris is hyper intelligent.
Oh my god, we're like Mike.
Like Mike.
Like Mike.
Well, you didn't tell me he's hyper intelligent.
And he's swole as fuck.
Anything Zach puts you in, the enemy is
Yeah, the
hyper-intelligent. If it's Godzilla, it's
There's
hyper-intelligent.
0% chance that you can kill any enemy that I propose. Because they're jacked as fuck, they can catch bullets between their teeth, and they're hyper intelligent.
Like they'll know when you
And
piss.
they have horse cocks.
They have omniscient Snoke powers.
And they'll put you in the air like Ray. Strangle you.
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
When your kid's been acting up in front of company all day and your guests finally and they find your guests finally leave.
So
Yes.
Dylan, make your choice. Do you drink the 5 gallons?
What is this?
6.
6 total.
Well, okay.
Assuming I choose
He
the
might.
gallon.
Yeah, when he goes back, he might choose the shot glass to take his chances again.
Again.
Okay. So do you do it? Do you do the 5 gallons?
Now that you know.
Chris is going to lord this over you your entire
Mad
life.
Sad
I
me.
literally
Mad
haven't
me.
seen him
Mad
in
me.
6 years.
Okay,
Mad
no.
me.
He's
Mad
going
me.
to make a point of becoming a large part of your life after this. He's got to get his money's worth.
Does he have nothing else to do
his
with
money
his time?
shots worth. Nicksaw has set him up. He is set for life for his donation.
And everything in Nick Saw is recorded, just like the Saw movies.
Yeah.
So everyone gets a VHS of this.
Yeah, it's
A
Facebook
VHS.
Live.
Yeah.
Your parents are in a room watching it.
Yeah. You have to have a VHS player though.
Well, we
They're watching it from a 2-way mirror on the other side with Nicksaw.
with Mike.
Yeah, with Mike and,
And Lucas
Nicksaw.
is there.
Yeah.
Little sign.
Lucas is fapping.
Oh God.
Okay, Lucas is in the pool now too.
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah, he's in the pool.
Alright, then shit, we're going back and we're redoing this.
Okay, so now you're back in time. You have
5 gallons.
you have the choice between the 5 gallon and the shot glass. Do you risk it again?
No, we're not dealing with that.
5 gallons of cum. Oh, cum. Oh,
Jesus, Dylan got worse off than any of us.
you should kill yourself.
Neither of you have siblings, so you don't know what the fuck that's like.
Yeah, only children.
Like you've never tasted Lucas's cum.
No.
Has Lucas ever tasted your cum? No.
Also no.
Oh. What if he's licked the toilet?
What could Lucas possibly do for you to like cum in his Cheerios or something?
He probably licks the shower drain. That's how he gets it.
Is there anything that Lucas could possibly do to you to go to such extremes?
To come in his Cheerios.
Oh, dude, is this a freaking Robot chicken skit? Yeah.
It sounds like it,
This is
yeah.
robot chicken skit.
Lands on the Death Star.
It's that little Christian boy. They're like, we don't have any milk. Where'd you get this from? Timmy or whatever?
Yeah. Is there anything that he could do to you?
Not really, no.
What if he came in
Bad
your
luck,
Cheerios?
Brian.
I don't eat Cheerios.
You're gonna now,
Okay,
bitch.
he came in your ramen.
I'd kill him.
You imported really expensive ramen
It's-
from Japan.
It's Bad Luck Brian, but with Ben Kenobi's face. And it says, hires a pilot hoping to avoid any Imperial entanglements. Lands on the Death Star.
The worst.
Bad Luck Brian.
It's good time.
I'd kill him. I'd probably kill him.
Wait, who we kill? Oh, Lucas?
It says, I love you, scene. For Han Empire.
Here's a topic that I wanted to ask you guys.
Combined faces of all 500 members of the Senate. It's Palpatine.
Anyway, the question I wanted to ask, since we're coming upon the end of the year,
Oh, yeah.
what was your favorite moment of the entire year?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
When I got to Japan and away from you assholes.
This is
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We already know Justin's when he smoked
Perfect
cigarettes.
score.
What?
What?
Mine is definitely the Vegas shooting.
Zach! What the fuck? You fucking get wet from that shit?
A little bit.
Do explain why.
Because bump stocks.
The way they make already
That's
automatic
a fucking
weapons
lie.
insanely automatic.
Yeah. Steven, what was your favorite moment of the year?
This right now.
Don't say anal. That doesn't count.
Shit.
When Trump started defunding sanctuary cities.
Oh, boy.
When Betsy DeVos became head of education.
Yeah, that bitch is
When Nancy
nutting over
Pelosi came to
fruitcake.
his house and gave him a BJ.
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my god.
What a fox.
What a foxy lady. Oh.
She definitely doesn't look like Hillary Clinton's uglier cousin.
Nope.
Favorite?
Reading the Huffington Post.
I want you
Right.
to walk outside and just lie down.
And die. And that will be my favorite moment.
Please die before the end of the year.
Challenge accepted.
Favorite moment? That time where we had the Bill Gates scenario and I ended up decapitating like millions of children. No.
Nice. Well, that's gonna be my next question. What's your favorite Circle Jerks moment? Since this is the season finale.
Oh, favorite circle jerks moment? That's
Sure, can you shut the podcast before I beat
turn
your bitch
that
ass?
dumb shit off.
Yeah, turn on some gangster rap for me, my nigga.
If I don't hear Gucci Gang in the next 10 seconds, I'll kill you.
Put on some,
Kill me.
put on
Least
some
favorite
Post
moment when that
Malone.
fucking song came into existence.
How do you feel about Post Malone?
Hot as hell.
10 out of 10.
Total fox.
Steven, what was your favorite Circle Jerks moment?
Probably the Mike scenario.
Yeah.
That was just
That
so
was the,
fucking
that was
over
the
the
best.
top.
Did
I
he
couldn't
fix his
wrap my
lazy
head
eye?
around it.
No, whenever Mike came down into the basement, his lazy eye straightened up and targeted Steven.
Yeah.
Like a predator cannon.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yes.
It's all a ploy. He actually has concentrated willpower to keep it lazy.
There's 4 cents in it.
It's all been an act to make you feel comfortable around him, which he hasn't been successful at. But, yeah.
It's been all-
That, the Bill Gates one, and the Nigsaw scenario are my 3 favorite ones.
We have to talk about like favorites, not 3 favorites.
Well, I mean, it'd be the Mike one. That was just classic.
It was pretty good. That time when Jared was still around.
The Hermione Granger scenario.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
That was a pretty solid one. So basically, Dylan, the Hermione, well, the Emma Watson scenario was you had the choice of either fucking Emma, knowing that she has had sex with 1,000 dudes over a span of time,
Go on.
but you don't know what percentage of an STD that she would have from that. Oh no, I think she was clean in that scenario, wasn't she?
So 1,000 and clean.
1,000 and clean, or
Yeah.
no.
It was 1,000 clean.
No, it was 1,000 and you had a chance of it,
yeah,
or
chance,
she had
yeah.
just been cream pied by 30 guys in a row, and you have
And that's your
zero chance of STD.
Yeah.
But it's like coming out. Like when you stick your dick in, it like seeps
it's a
out.
water
It's like.
flow. It's a water. Yeah. So you get no STD, but it's a pie,
Yeah.
or you. Go
Yeah, you have
for-
another guy's semen going up your urethra.
And he can have AIDS.
No, he's.
Yeah.
They're all white straight males.
Wow.
Are we asking like what my preference is, or do you just like
No,
that?
you.
No, you have to pick
You have
one.
to pick.
Nixaw has you.
Again.
Oh, this is another Nick sauce.
Well, he wasn't in, but yeah, he's
Yeah, this is pre-Nixaw. This was when he before he revealed himself. He was still puppeteering.
It was
everything.
before he got impaled by a pole after a vein accident.
Yeah.
Once again, so I'm gonna roll with the 30 just happening, because I don't have to go for penetration right away. We can have foreplay for 45 minutes and let that shit drain.
Okay, she's covered, ball. Like they bukkake her.
Okay, we have paper towels for a reason.
No. Nixaw has all the paper towels.
Then I'll wipe it off with my hand.
Nope. Nixaw says that he will chop off your hands if you try wiping off any of the
She
semen.
wants the art.
He tells you you can only take the semen off if you do it with your tongue.
Oh god. That took me a second to process. It was so gross.
She is just like lathered. Like she's ready for Turkish oil wrestling.
Oh my god. Still,
What? No STD.
Yeah,
still
no,
rolling with that.
Nope, no STD.
Good.
You're STD free so far.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad. Emily has AIDS.
What?
All
Sorry.
of us are still.
So
in it,
by
too.
extension, so does Steven.
No,
No?
just
No.
Emily.
They also-
Emily's the only one who failed the roll.
Ah.
She was like, "Yeah, I'll take the shot," and I was like, "She got a 9%."
I think me and Nick were the only ones that took the gallon.
You fucking sickos.
Took each other's gallons.
How'd you know?
After it's already been an Angela.
Just like Angela. It's like a tap.
Oh,
Gross.
you just like spread the legs. It's like.
You put one of those things that you put in trees to get maple syrup out. the little
A
spigot.
spigot?
Yeah.
A spigot.
Spaghetti.
A nigga.
Steven, rip his legs off.
No.
Steven, thoughts on black people?
Wow.
They're
Yes.
sitting
Are they a scourge?
What the fuck? I'm okay with black people.
I love black people. I think black people are funnier than white people.
Oh, for sure.
Except for Jews. I think Jews have them beat. They're just funny in general.
Yeah, Adam Sandler. What a
Like,
hilarious
and
man.
Frank, forget about it.
Oh my god.
She started off kind of rough, but that final act, oh my god, to die for. What is this?
Blinds.
It's a fucking blind that he's been like
I'm
poking
blind.
me with.
A third eye blind?
You have to pee again.
You're a piece of shit.
Dude,
You need to
your
get your
bladder-
prostate checked?
Yeah, I was about to say.
You want us to check your prostate for you?
I've got
Bend over.
blinds.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I've got blinds covered in plastic. Let's go.
Oh my god. It doubles as a thermometer.
It does.
You just put it in blood.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Justin's just been corked up this entire
That's a
time.
good sign. You're fine, healthy, 100%.
Just gotta drain
You
it.
got a good flow.
Good lube system going.
Right.
Looks like a sewer pipe. The end of a sewer pipe coming out. With an equal amount of rats.
Ah.
Justin, you ever told us what embarrassed you besides being alive?
That's it, being alive.
Wow.
All right.
That's too easy.
Yeah, that's too easy. Give us
Everyone already
something
is like-
specific about your life.
Yeah. You have a cat.
Pretty embarrassing.
That is pretty embarrassing. What about the time that you ran down the hill?
Yeah. That's just me being stupid.
Yeah. It's pretty embarrassing.
What about that time I hit you in the dick with a rocket launcher?
That was funnier than shit.
Yeah, it was.
Cause like it
Wait,
didn't
what?
hurt. It was just
You were
funny.
there, Zach.
What about that time we were at house and Steven had some piece of chicken and was like dry humping a couch?
Oh my god!
It was
I remember
Jared.
that.
You were dry humping
Jared?
Jared?
Well, so
Yeah,
Jerry
it
was
was a
lying
dry
on
hump.
the couch and
Is
like
wet humping Jared?
Steven was like standing above him, like
Yeah.
visibly like
Yeah, getting it.
yeah.
Jeez.
For a solid like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Jared just accepted.
Jared accepted his fate.
Do you guys remember when Steven would always get slap happy at night?
I do. I do.
That was ridiculous ass shit. He would always start farting uncontrollably.
It'd be about 1 in the morning and then you'd hear a little next to it. It's like Peter Griffin.
Steven, we never told the Splinter Cell story.
Oh my god.
So, okay, this was back in like, I think
You were
like,
freshman,
it was
probably.
high school, yeah, early high school. Is me, him, and Dylan, and we had our Mountain Dew game fuel, Halo 3 game fuel,
Shit, yeah.
and we were playing Splinter Cell Double Agent co-op, and so we started off in this little room together, and basically Steven went to go get like some
Out of it?
key or something.
You had to climb up like a pipe
Yeah,
and then like
it's a very long
hang
like
across
climb.
the gap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it took like a good 30 seconds to make your way across this pipe, and every time he came remotely close, I would shoot him down, and we would just gut each other down. It was good shit.
It was ridiculous.
That went on for like probably an hour.
It literally was like an hour.
We
Like
were
I kept
irritated
thinking,
for
I'm
way
like, oh
too
good,
long.
he's not gonna fuck with me.
Yeah,
And
I
then he
would
just sniped me right off.
I would let him get a little closer every time.
The worst.
Good shit. Dylan, what other good stories do you have from
Our days of glory.
yes, our glory days, our glory hole days?
Ah. There was one time in high school after, I can't remember if it was a fire drill or a tornado drill or some kind of drill, but I was wearing sweatpants, and after the
You got a
drill was
boner,
over, that probably happened. But I came back
but no one could tell.
I came back inside of the high school and I was like, oh, this will be fun. So I decided to, like, drop my sweatpants. I had shorts on, but I was walking around, like, shuffling like a penguin. With sweatpants at my knees, walking up to random people, waving my arms frantically, yelling, we're saved.
Rock on.
That sounds about right.
I think my girlfriend at the time, Ashley, like, saw me coming down the hallway doing that, and she just kind of, like, smirked and
She
walked
said,
away.
"It's over."
She walked away. And then I ran in.
It was that day that she said, "I have no future with this man."
That is sad.
What other stupid shit did we do back then?
There's so many.
Oh, the one time I got caught racing my neighbor at drumline camp.
Racing him.
Yeah, so drumline was a week before the regular, like, band camp started.
Mm.
So we had to, like, learn our cadences and all that stuff. So there was, like, 10 of us there. And it was, like, 4 hours every morning. It was, like, 8 to noon. And so during one of our breaks, we had, like, a 10-minute break. One of the other drumliners, it was back when I drove my Nissan, that freaking dope car that I was proud as hell of. My dude was like, dude, my Ford will totally smoke it. And I'm like, fucking on.
Is this with Nick?
Yes. Nick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, other Nick.
Yeah.
So we're racing around the lots because they're all connected, right? And we come back, and this is, I think, second or third lap, and we see Auckley coming outside. I'm like, oh shit. So we park.
You got hard.
Well, that was from the excitement.
of seeing Oakley.
I was about to say seeing Oakley.
So we park our cars, and he's like, "Get in my office right fucking now." So we go into his office. He's
And
like,
then you got harder.
he's like,
Did he bang you up against the desk?
"No."
Violated him with a piccolo.
He's like, "Why is the superintendent calling me about street racing kids in the parking lot?" So we were just like, "Yeah, we were just fucking around." So we had to give up our keys, and then we had to swear to tell our parents of what had happened, and then tell Oakley the next day what they thought of it. Like, nothing ever came of it. I didn't tell my parents.
You came back and said, Oakley, my dad said it was sick as fuck.
Basically.
It was slick.
My mom was disappointed. My dad threw something and yelled, "Yeet."
And then they beat me mercilessly.
and then Oakley said, never return here.
Yeah.
You're exiled from public school.
And that was literally all that happened. Like, nothing happened.
But did you do butt stuff with Oakley or what?
No.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
That's a surefire way to get AIDS.
Wow.
I mean, he's gay, so...
Wow.
It's a proven fact that all gay guys have AIDS. That's so... Oh, a nice pharmaceutical question that I wanted to ask Dylan.
Go on.
Is it true that vaccines give you autism?
No.
Steven, I'm gonna land this on you.
Do it. Put it on his crotch.
Yeah, throw a condom and make it land on his
I need
cock.
more range, but it was coming.
Steven looks like he's dead.
Steven is
I'm about
dead.
to bring it back to life with this dick.
Wake me up.
Can't snake up.
I can't wake up.
My favorite version of that is
Wake me
the
up and
Vine where it's Goofy.
Yes!
Yes!
I've seen that.
Can't wake up.
Well, quit wake up.
Wake up.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Save me.
What?
You guys sounded like a soundboard.
Maybe we are.
Maxine.
Maxi
You say Maxine?
Maxine.
Oh.
Maxwell House.
I like men now.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always knew that, Dylan. This is nothing new.
Stop it.
Stop violating Steven.
We should do a Do Kill or Marry.
You got something in mind?
Yeah, ex-girlfriends.
I only have two.
Well, we're choosing you.
Okay,
That's
we're gonna do Crystal, Ashley,
Ashley,
and your mom, Tracy.
Oh, nice.
Yeet!
Yeet.
So,
And this is pregnant Crystal.
Oh, she already had a kid though. Whenever.
yeah,
She's pregnant again.
Oh my
This is
God.
at her peak of pregnancy.
Okay.
so like 8 months.
So you're gonna feel bad if you kill her.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Oh my. Brutal. It's not your kid.
Yeah, you can say it was my kid. So, shit.
Oh shit, he goes.
I guess I'm gonna kill my mom because I ain't touching that.
Wow. You could have married her.
No! My name ain't Oedipus.
Damn, killed the bitch right off the bat.
There's like a little hesitation there.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna fuck Crystal.
Pregnant Crystal.
It can happen. It's a thing.
At least you wouldn't knock her up, I guess.
Yeah.
No worries, and I guess I'll marry Ashley.
Good choice.
Okay.
I think you took the right route, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna marry Tracy.
Yeah?
I mean, she's a woman, so...
I'm gonna marry Tracy. Fuck Tracy.
And kill her.
And kill Chris, because he's just in the way.
Damn.
Where does Mike come into play here?
He doesn't.
Why not? He's super...
He's too busy fucking Steven in the basement.
What if Steven's fucking Tracy? What are your options?
Mike?
Okay, Steven, you got Mike, you got your little brother Nathan, and you got
Justin.
Stacy. Steven's been asleep this entire time. At the moment I said Stacy, not anyone else.
No,
His
I
eyes
heard
got
the whole
super
thing.
alert.
I heard the whole thing. That's funny. My dad, we rather
this
brother
up.
or my cousin.
We're getting close. I'm getting fucking close.
That's a...
Yeah,
incest is strong with this one.
Okay, can you guys stop fucking?
I'm lactating.
What the fuck?
Can we get over there?
Do you want some bitty? Some bitty Bono?
My name is Betty.
Oh my god. Steven, what's your decision?
Say that
I don't
every day
even
for
think I
like a
can make
year.
that decision.
Nigsaw has you.
Oh my god.
He's going to
I'm
turn-
dying.
He's going to.
I'm dead.
No, it's not gonna be a slow. It's not gonna be a fast death. He's going to torture you.
This
That's
is
fine.
not
Name is
fair.
not Betty.
This
He said
isn't
it
fair
every
for
time.
Steven because he has no.
I'm being
options.
molested by my dad.
You've
more.
never. Okay, but you
Dylan had
can.
options. Dylan had options.
No, you can fuck Mike. You can finally get your revenge. You can hate fuck him
I think
To
Zach
death.
gets off.
to
of
death. A little bit. I'm erect. I won't lie.
He's in his face right now.
He's got a half mask going on.
No, I'm full on. I'm busting out my
Okay,
drawers.
you get. Wait, who is his?
He can have the big titty
Stacy, Stacy, Nathan, or
No. Daniel.
okay.
Daniel.
Oh.
Who?
Daniel.
Oh, I thought you said Daniel.
Yeah.
Who else did you date after that?
Oh, Abby.
Oh yeah.
And-
Abby. I can
Let's
see the
not
last
do
name.
this.
So Daniel, Abby,
And that chick that you were with after
Abby.
Italy.
Let's not do this. Let's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we loved her. She was great.
Okay.
Wait, who was
Let's
the third
not.
one?
No.
You have to.
You refuse.
Dylan had to kill his own mom.
Too
Hell-
far.
Nick Saw's just going to torture him to death.
It happens.
I'll just get tortured to death. It's okay.
Okay, find your mom.
Wow.
Finally, fuck. This changes everything.
So Lori, Danielle, and Abby.
I'm still fucking Nathan.
Oh my god, dude.
Okay, Ethan.
So are we killing Lori or?
After we fuck her.
You have to choose.
Okay. Steven's dead.
Killed
So-
himself.
Ethan, you got
Helen.
Oh, hell, I forgot about Helen.
Hey,
You
do we
got-
need to bring up something about that?
What?
The thing that they went through? What about
What, what thing is that?
Well, what
Lunch
was that?
table.
Oh, the handy
Oh,
under the
the
table.
Ethan
We
Ricard
talked about that a
We talked
lot.
about
Yeah.
Fire under the table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Dude, get on the fucking train. No,
Yeah,
it's
26
not.
episodes. You believe that we didn't bring that shit up?
2017.
I don't want to be on the episodes.
The Helen under the table. Yeah.
Okay.
Stop saying my names.
Okay.
Okay, so you got Helen, you got Claire, and you got Steven's desecrated
It's
Nick
obvious
Saw
you can't say her
corpse.
last name.
Mary.
Like Nick sex?
Yeah. I've never even talked to her.
Oh, well, this should be pretty awkward then.
It's the third one.
So awkward.
Okay, you got pregnant Angela.
What are you talking about? We're doing ex-girlfriends of Ethan's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my Caleb. I dated her.
Oh.
Amy. Oh wait.
I didn't date Amy. Not Kyle. Or Chris.
I heard they broke up.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
Yeah, they're not together.
Kyle's with someone else.
Another ginge.
Yeah,
All right,
so
it's
she's
just-
hot.
Zach,
Yeah, she's
Zach,
good.
I've got one for you.
I didn't even.
Okay.
Here, go ahead.
Here, hold on. Well, you can think about this.
Oh, wait.
Todd.
Oh, God.
Really?
Fuck.
That'll be yours.
I'll tag him.
Steven's desiccated corpse.
Oh, that's bad,
Oh,
guys.
man. These are all fuckable.
So
I
far,
choose
2 out of 2.
Yeah.
Or a fleshlight with Ethan's mom as the base.
Ooh, good.
I thought you were going to say Ethan's mouth. In that
No.
case.
She actually lost a lot of weight. She looks pretty good.
Show me some pics, dude.
I saw her I ran into her and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing in?"
Do you think if I got a cock ring, she would do me?
She would love it.
Yeah. Okay, that's who I'm adding to your third one. It's gotta be. What was his name? Bill?
Who?
His mom's dick ring guy?
Rob.
Rob Lowe. Yeah.
Rob's cool.
who was that fuck that your mom used to date?
Scott. You remember Scott?
Am I in love with her?
Oh my
Dude,
god.
Scott-
You remember Scott?
Scott with AO
I forgot that Scott
He was an
existed.
asshole.
But I remember you
You
had.
guys all remember him?
Yes,
No, I-
Scott was a
He was
cock.
around that long.
Scott was a cock.
For with you guys.
No, but I remember vividly that you had this picture on your fridge. I said, this is after she broke up with Scott. I'm like, why do you guys have a picture of Scott on your fridge still? And you said, that's my grandpa.
He
Oh,
thought that was
God.
really funny.
It was funny.
Oh god, you guys.
I can't believe you thought it was fucking Scott.
They look
Like some
identical.
Old-ass man. They do not.
Scott is fucking old. He was like 70 when he dated your mom.
He was at 70.
He's at least 69.
He was 60 something.
He was in his early 60s.
I mean, now he might be in his late 60s.
Yeah,
He's
by now
probably
he is.
dead by now.
No, I saw him like.
Oh, you saw
Sometime
him?
this year.
No, yeah, you guys meet up at like some trashy motel.
You guys go
We
to
do.
fucking.
You guys go to town?
No, they go to the
Are you
Elks.
jealous?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'll kill him. I'm gonna castrate him.
Oh, nice. Hey,
Wow.
don't you fucking walk away.
You go to bed?
I will
Huh?
fuck
Why you gotta be
No,
so
I don't feel good at all.
heartless?
Don't feel good. What are you, Jared?
That's probably because I spiked his drinks.
With cum?
Yes.
Wow, Dylan's cum.
Yep, we roofied Dylan's cum.
How did I
We
not
injected
notice?
roofies into his ball sack and then he jerked off.
Once again, how did I not notice this?
It's just another drop in the bucket for you.
Right.
Okay, who were our fucking do kill and marries before we got into this
I
shit?
don't know about his, but I know that yours were Steven's desiccated corpse, Todd, and then a fleshlight of Ethan's mom.
Well, I'm marrying the flashlight.
Good choice.
That is a good choice.
I guess I'll kill. I'll kill Steven's desecrated corpse. I guess.
You're gonna marry Todd?
Now I'm gonna fuck Todd. I guess. I couldn't deal with the life of Todd.
Yeah, no one could.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Debbie.
That's weird. How
We
is
don't
she?
know.
Is she weird?
No, Debbie's fine. We fucked.
Zach.
So Tim was conceived. I popped out. I just got on top of her.
Yeah, you were like a few months old. How,
No, I was just right out of the womb.
They were
Oh,
in this
really?
room.
Yeah, the umbilical cord was still attached. Actually,
That's a long ass.
yeah,
how far were you and
I choked her
Tim?
with it.
Oh.
Like 6 months. No, 5 months.
That's plenty of time to crawl and get around. I believe it.
Yeah,
Still attached.
my sperm rapidly progresses.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like half the conception.
Your baby
time.
penis was able to impregnate Debbie.
I mean, my baby penis was like bigger than my body, so.
All the blood.
Yeah, when I was born, they were like, "Here comes the head," and then they're like,
Oh,
"That's
the dick.
not
The wrong head.
that's the wrong head."
He's dying. He's dying. It took the hospital's entire blood supply. What's your blood type?
I think I'm O.
Positive.
I'm O negative.
I'm
Really?
I'm
Oh, you just a happy bitch, huh?
I'm
Give
HO.
it all the motherfuckers.
I can give to all.
I'm
You're just Santa Claus with blood.
I'm HIV positive.
That's not a blood type. That's a disease.
Yeah, my blood is, and I can't give blood because I'm too skinny. I've tried to give blood like 2 or 3 times, and they can never find.
Is it the blood? Or is
They
it
take
iron?
one drop and he passes out.
They never try to stick me with a needle because they're like your veins aren't.
Pronounced.
They've been so desecrated by all the
I haven't tried
heroin.
since high school.
Heroin,
Tourette's?
Heroin, yes.
heroin, and
You know me
Tourette's.
shooting up heroin in high school.
Yep,
You did it.
with B Leap.
I was at the lunch table. I saw it.
Yeah. Justin was doing heroin. Ethan was getting hand jobs under the table.
Larry was his dealer.
Oh, God.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I was about to say who the fuck is this, but it says in memory of. So
Who?
Is that,
Who this nigga?
is that Brendan?
We literally didn't even know he died.
that dude.
Oh, God.
It gets worse the longer you think about it.
Just 1 week, Nick doesn't show up to Circle Jerks, and then we see, like, in memory of.
Like, Steven, how do you know when people die? The Grim Reaper?
Steven takes them.
Is Nick dead?
Yep.
You
Is that
wouldn't know.
what we've settled on?
Yep. Well, guys, we're getting on the 2-hour mark. Is there any other topics you wanted to go through on the season finale?
I never got my third option.
Oh, so we had Helen, we had Claire.
Oh, Michaela. Sorry, that was it.
That was the one you came up with.
Yeah,
I
I'm
did.
gonna say a seagull.
A
A flock of
An actual
seagulls.
seagull.
Yeah.
Oh, like the band Flock of Seagulls?
God, I have to
Yeah,
pee so
it's
bad.
all it's the animal
pee.
and the band all in one.
I kill all of them.
Magic
But
magic
why?
fingers.
Here's your prostate check, bro.
Unlimited power.
Get a flock of seagulls.
And the band Flock of Seagulls.
Yes.
It's actually almost Mary Worth.
That would be an impressive marriage.
It would.
Unlimited power.
you could have the seagulls carry you in.
Yeah,
Ethan has a seagull on his shirt right now.
I do.
Uh,
Fitting.
yeah.
Imagine that.
Alright, so he's marrying the seagulls.
And the band.
We used to
Flock
always
of
do
Seagulls.
Ethan shit because you used to, like, literally for like 3 years. You weren't more than 3 years probably.
He still does. He's wearing Hollister right now.
But it's not like it used to be.
Underneath, it's just a shirt.
It's another Hollister shirt.
No, it's just a Walmart shirt. Like the plain ones for work.
And then he ironed on the Hollister's insignia.
He's got like
He
one of those.
he bedazzled an
A
insignia.
seagull.
Yeah.
There's a pink seagull.
He's got a little combo lock safe box with a bunch of Hollister little iron-on patches.
I have the chestless, like the shirtless men too. I put them on there every once in a while.
Shirtless men.
You know,
Yeah,
there's
the models.
the models on the bag.
Oh.
He just
Shut the fuck up.
he cuts out the bad models.
Yeah.
Yeah. He buys magazines of shirtless men and like glues them onto
No, that's
bags
cheating.
so that we think that he went to Hollister to buy this shit.
I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, no, I'm gonna kill the fucking flock of seagulls in the band.
Oh, come on. That'd be
I'm
such,
gonna-
that'd be such an interesting dynamic.
I'm gonna marry Helen because she's
Screw
nerdy.
Aaron.
Because screw Aaron and she's nerdy, and I'll fuck Claire.
Alright.
Ah.
Not bad.
See, mama.
Boy, I'm gonna go die. So
Oh,
You're already
Yeah, I'm
you
about
guys
to
can
leave
stick
too.
around.
We're wrapping up the
podcast
episode.
now.
It's all good. Y'all
We're
can
at
stick
2
around if you want
hours.
to. I see.
Pretty solid finale. Dylan, what did you think of your first session of Circle Jerks?
a little underwhelming.
His first jerk.
Underwhelming.
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 Bitch!
Wow.
You were basically dead the whole
I
time.
know.
Shut
I feel
up.
terrible today.
Jared infected him.
Yeah, you and Jared should fuck more often. Maybe we could ruin our lives. No.
Fuck you guys.
Love you.
Oh, fucking cum guzzler.
That was his nickname in college.
Come dumpster.
The
You
week
fucking
he was there.
Nina.
The Nina.
Nina.
The Santa Maria. Justin, what do you gotta say for yourself?
AIDS.
Dude, nice.
Not bad.
That's a good way to end.
That is a good way to end because that's representative of what this podcast is.
AIDS.
It's AIDS.
Yep.
It's a cancer to society,
AIDS.
and I hope you all get infected.
With
I mean,
the AIDS.
Emily's spreading it around. Oh, Steven has it now then.
That's what I said. He has AIDS.
You were right all along.
I know.
Oh, I was gonna ask what interesting things you guys got for Christmas. What sex toys? did you get?
I got a PS4
Wait,
It's a
really?
pretty solid sex toy.
Oh, you should add me. Why have you not added me?
because I don't have online for it. I haven't bought that.
It's isn't it free?
Collab.
I don't
No,
know.
it's $60.
Yeah.
For 12 months.
That sucks.
It's like Xbox Live.
I thought PlayStation used to have free. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
PS3.
like-
It was
like-
free.
As soon as the PS4 came out, they were like,
Yeah, they were on it.
"Yep."
bastards. EA probably bought them out.
It happens. Yeah, Loot Crate. You have a chance to get the year membership, but it's chance.
It's like a 1.7%.
Yeah, but you have a 10% chance of getting AIDS.
It's $60.
Lord
Oh,
Connect,
those
Lord
odds.
Connect posted this, and the only person I can think of is like Mrs. Rosner.
Oh my god.
Remember her?
Yeah.
She was definitely a lesbian.
I got this.
You're definitely a lesbian.
Okay.
I got this hoodie. I got money for like underwear, socks, and shirts for work, which was nice.
My mom, I told my mom to get me all that, and she did.
Dude, now that I'm getting older, that shit's awesome.
I told her to get it for me. Underwear, socks.
Yeah, I love it.
That's when we know that we're dying. Sucks.
Effectively, yes.
I got a home tap.
Yeah, I saw that. I call him an alcoholic, but I kind of want one too.
It's dope as hell.
Really?
Yes.
That's
like
cool.
Like it's like a big cylinder with like an actual tap on it.
Right,
You like press
yeah.
a button, open it, and there's like a little like straw in there, and you put it in like whatever bottle or can.
Of course.
It goes up to 25 ounces.
That's awesome.
So you put that shit in there, and then you pull it, and it's
You
brilliant.
pull out.
Yes.
Nice.
That's pretty good, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You can put like any whiskey or anything in there. Like most bottles aren't that big to.
A whole wine bottle.
Love it.
Yeah. You could just get the boxes of wine.
A keg.
Keg, yeah. Keg of
Dude,
wine.
we need to get a keg sometime. Do like beer Olympics all day. It'd be badass.
Yep.
We did that every year at college. It's fun shit.
It's gonna be the day I graduate.
Oh, are you gonna kill a little kid?
I've already killed the young
To kill a little kid.
Yeah. When every time person graduates from SIUE, that's where you go, right?
They kill a kid.
Yeah, they kill a child. Jared's never gonna get that opportunity, but Dylan, he's close.
Giggity.
And you get to choose how you kill them too.
lightsaber.
Ray. Oh.
Lightsaber rape.
One and the same?
With my double-sided saber.
You have to be extra as fuck. One side could kill them, but you have to. I mean, there's a lot of
You can
different
do,
lightsabers.
you do the
so-
Kylo saber. Each one gets the long one.
Oh yeah.
The other two get the training wheels.
Yeah.
Cauterize your asshole.
Oh, gross. I think that's a good way to end it.
Cauterize asshole.
Thanks,
The
folks.
name of the finale. Thanks for sticking around for all of our bullshit.
And we love you all. Happy New Year.
On 3, everyone drop the N-bomb.
No, I'm not.
1, 2, 3.
Happy New Year.
Lego!